The heart of your teams, the heart of Michigan. Bally Sports Detroit, the heart of the fan.
I'm the luckiest man in Michigan. I get to call high school football in Frankenmuth in the fall. Beautiful setting. I'm going to Zender's, fill my belly up with some chicken. I'm going to go to Bronner's and get our ornament for Johnny. We exchange each year. But most importantly, I get to call a football game tonight. Well, speaking of that, it's getting late. I got to get going. Johnny, I'm coming. Don't worry.
Frankenmuth, a town known for its true Bavarian roots, cherished for something simple as a chicken dinner. Festive, celebrating Christmas 361 days a year. But there's one more thing Frankenmuth does as well as anyone. Football. And that's why Bally Sports has made the trip on this Football Friday. The hometown Eagles are on the verge of adding another conference title to their trophy case. But the upset-minded Garber Dukes will take their swing at knocking off the reigning Tri-Valley champs. The two rivals go head-to-head on the gridiron on this edition of Football Fridays, and it starts now on Bally Sports. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Frankenmuth. I'm Johnny Kane. This is Rob Rubick. We're thankful you could be with us. I'm just thankful you could be here after your sightseeing tour of Frankenmuth today.
Well, my belly was full after going to Zender's, but the biggest problem was no one to give me a ride. I had to walk all the way from downtown. I don't move very fast at my age.
Not like you used to, I know that. But, hey, the other part about it is the rain here tonight. Light drizzle falling right now. They're expecting it to maybe be on and off for about an hour and a half or so. How could that impact tonight's game?
Well, it's field turf. It should be fine. The biggest key are the ball boys keeping the ball dry for the respective teams.
All right, so it's Garber against Frankenmuth. Frankenmuth's a team that can score in bunches, prolific offense. What is it makes them so good, and what do they got to do tonight to be effective?
Well, first of all, I think Phil Martin's an outstanding coach, and then he has the two Coles, the quarterback Jankowski and the running back Lindau. This gives you flexibility when you're running your offense. When I say flexibility, they're going to run it about 85% of the time, but where do they run it? Are they running midline inside, midline veer? Are they attacking with jet sweeps? Are they running off tackle? And they have the personnel to do this, and they're so good at their deception in this offense. And when you have playmakers like they do, it can present problems for defenses.
Well, they've got a lot of athletes up and down the roster. You look at the other side for Garber. Obviously, they're going to key on those two guys for sure. And they've got a guy that certainly Frankenmuth's going to have to contend with, and that's a big guy in the middle, Alex Van Sumeren.
No, that's a full-grown man. I walked by him, 6'3", 300 pounds. That's what I say, yes sir, no sir, when you walk by him, because that's a big guy. But anyways, what you're going to see Garber try to do, and Coach Quillard is going to try to funnel things inside. I think you're going to see him play a hard edge, try to set that edge, get the ball carries for Garber to try to funnel back between the tackles, and let this big guy clean up, because when you got a beast, you have to let him eat.
Yeah, Van Sumeren. You say 6'3", 300 pounds, and Coach Quillard said that one of the best defensive linemen he's ever faced.
Well, he's athletic.
Ever coached,
he's athletic. Johnny, he runs H-back for him at 300 pounds. How do you want to be that defensive end when you see a 300-pound man coming at you to kick you out? That's a decision. That's one of those business decisions that I don't want to have to make.
Well, it'll be an entertaining game to watch unfold. That much we know. Frankenmuth's going to be the heavy favorite tonight, but that's why they play the game. And for more on that story, let's bring in the third member of our crew, Brooke Fletcher. Fletch, what do you have?
Yeah, for both of these teams, this is the biggest game out of the entire season. Now, Frankenmuth has the upper hand, winning the last 12 times these two have faced off. But Coach Quillard said, listen, I understand besides Essexville Garber, not a lot of people think we can win this game. But he said, don't count us out. Majority of this roster consists of upperclassmen. So he said with that kind of experience, he feels like that will give them the edge here tonight.
I kid around, they're a small college. In my eyes, they're a great football program, a great tradition. They're a great athletic program over there. They have a great coaching staff, and so it's going to be a big challenge for us on Friday night. Teams happen to fall sometimes, and Alabama fell this weekend, so well, why not us?
Yeah, why not them? Well, we all know, Johnny and Rubes, with big matchups like this, hey, anything can happen. So we'll have to see how this game turns out here tonight.
Thank you, Fletch. Yeah, it's going to be a great one. You look at Frankenmuth, unbeaten, obviously. They're the creme de la creme. They're in the Tri-Valley Conference, especially in the East. But this is a football program that's been good for a long time, isn't it?
They're a hidden gem. People have to realize that in the last 65 years, if I did my math right, only 10 losing seasons for the Muth. This is a program that is good year in and year out. I think 12 years in a row they've made the playoffs, Johnny. That is a football program. The problem is they struggle getting out of the districts and the regionals. Last year they made it all the way to Ford Field. And I think, talking to Coach Martin, he thinks he has the horses to possibly get back there again this year.
Yeah, unbeaten at 7-0, 6-0 in conference play heading into tonight's game. And certainly they have their sights set on another conference championship. It's Garber. It's Frankenmuth. It's tonight here on Football Fridays. We'll bring you the kick right after this. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Frankenmuth as we get set for kickoff here between Garber and the Muth, as they call them around these parts. Going to be a fabulous game. There's a good look at Coach Phil Martin. Career record of 86-15 leading the Eagles here, who will be clad in their gray, in the red and gray uniforms here tonight, playing out of the Tri-Valley Conference. And on the other side, in the Carolina blue and white, head coach Jake Coquillert. He's bundled up underneath a little bit as the rain is starting to fall a little bit more. You can see 65-48 career record now in his 12th season already, including 7 career playoff appearances. So we talked a little bit about it in the open. Johnny Kane and Rob Rubick here with you. We're hoping the rain doesn't play too much of a factor in this one, but on Friday nights under the lights, you just never know, Rubes.
Yeah, but what a great place to be, because you have a field that's field turf. So there's not going to be muddy. There's not as much slipping and sliding as I talked about in the open, Johnny. It's just making sure you have a dry ball for your offense when they're out there. And that's you usually get a bunch of young fellas in elementary school, ball boys running in and out and use their legs and let them get a feel what it is to be part of a program too. And that's I always like. You can remember in Lapeer for years, some of those ball boys end up growing to be some of the good players at the high school level. And it's how you keep the enthusiasm, excitement in your community.
So it is Frankenmuth who will do the kicking off here tonight. Garber will get an opportunity to possess the football first. Travis Brenner doing the kicking off for Frankenmuth here tonight. And we are underway. Pretty good kick. Going to be fielded right about the 15. Again, a little slick football, but able to corral it was Garber. Trying to look for a little bit of room. And not much going there. As Garber's going to get the football to start right around the 20-yard line. Looks like they're going to put it at the 16-yard line to get things started here tonight. Again, Garber comes in at 5-2 record, to 4-2 in conference. And let's look at the quarterback, Cade Coquillert, the coach's son, now in his junior campaign. This will be his 3rd start at this season. Of course, they had an injury a little bit earlier in the year. And senior quarterback Tommy Shapansky went down with an injury, and Coquillert has stepped in. And aside from the loss against Alma a couple weeks back, he has stepped in here nicely. First play of the game, a little pitch, and not much running room for Caleb Christie, the talented senior running back.
When we talk about setting the edge that Garber needs to when they're on defense, well, Frankenmuth does a great job early on. That's marker number 23, really coming up the field hard, forcing the running back to cut back inside, and really nothing there for Christie. Then all the pursuit from the inside out gets him. So good defense play for Frankenmuth to start.
Kyle Jenke, big man in the middle up front, one of their talented leaders on the offensive front. And you see some of the skill position guys. It all starts with Caleb Christie, the running back at number 15. We expect to call his name quite a bit here tonight. Not much doing on first down, as he actually lost 2 yards on the carry. Bring up 2nd and 12. Ball at the 14-yard line. Here's the snap. Hand off to Christie. This time trying to break it out on the outside. Moving to his left. And picks up a couple of yards. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage. But that's about it, Rubes.
Yeah, that's just good pursuit. They have new coming in, and that's one thing Coach Coquillert alluded to, is that this defense of Frankenmuth has great lateral speed from side to side. You'd like to try to attack it maybe a little bit more vertical inside game. He's testing the waters on the edge. Right now 0 for 2. Nothing there offensively for Garber.
Yeah, a lot of good speed on that defensive front for Frankenmuth. And again, Garber, they'll try to spread you out a little bit. But they like to run some ISO, and they'll run some power out of that. But here, they're going to go with a 3-receiver set. And 3rd and long. They're going to reach back. Coquillard looking for the outside, has his target, and that's caught at the 40-yard line. So how about that on 3rd and long? Looks for Max Fellows, his talented sophomore wide receiver, and that'll move the sticks.
Well, you hate to say if you're going to get an upset, but Garber comes in a pretty heavy underdog. When you're going to get that upset, as we saw at Texas A&M, Alabama, which Coach Quillard alluded to, you need to make plays. When you have an opportunity to make a play, you need to have someone step up and make it. And that time, Max Fellows did. He high-pointed the football. The defensive back didn't have it located. He high-points it, goes up, makes a good catch, and almost kept his balance, Johnny. It would have been 6.
Max Fellows is a guy they feel like naturally plays that position well. Has also played some quarterback for him, but that's a big first down for this offense and gets them back out of the shadow of their own end zone. And now Coquillard keeps it himself, picks up 4 yards on the play. So a nice sustained drive here to open this football game here at Frankenmuth High School. In fact, Max Fellows, we learned earlier in the week, he was set to be the backup quarterback coming into the season should anything happen to Tommy Shapansky, which did. But Fellows is such a good wide receiver that they decided to move Cade Coquillard into the backup quarterback spot, and now they have Fellows out on the outside. As for Frankenmuth, some of the impact players, Ashton Beckert, he is a tough football player. He wears number 59. Brennan Marker as well, and Dalton Dubois. 2nd and 7 now, ball at the 49-yard line. Coquillard looking again, got his receiver, and again Max Fellows inside the 25-yard line. Flag comes in, and that won't matter. That's going to be a first down.
That's interference, offensive interference. And now I want to try to get a look here. You're going to see Muth plays man. They're going to play man. Outside, they're going to have a hard inside technique, which means they are going to put their back almost to the quarterback, Johnny. You're going to see him looking straight at the receiver inside out, and they just like to let him go and get on the hip and run. But Max Fellows right now has shown that he's too much for the defensive backs. That's 2 jump balls, 2 50-50s that number 4 has won.
Yeah, on the other side is Travis Brenner, also wears number 4, so he's been beaten twice now on the outside. So take a look here at the Garber Dukes.
First down.
And they do decline the penalty, so first down. Ball now down to the 23-yard line. Impressive opening drive for the boys wearing the Carolina blue and white. Coquillard, pitch to Christie. Christie cuts upfield. Christie inside the 5. Touchdown, Garber. How about that, Rob Rubick?
Well, what happens? When you go deep, you soften things up. You loosen up that defense. Now they're thinking, we got to drop in coverage. Linebackers start backing up. They're not filling as quickly. You run a toss to Christie. He gets a great block at the point of attack, a kick out. Then he's just going to go vertical here. Puts his foot in the ground. He had north and south, so some good quicks. And this is what Phil Martin said. He goes, everyone underestimates how good, how much talent this Garber team has. Because they have the 2 losses, he said, but Christie's as good as back as we'll see the entire season.
Yeah, big, strong kid, fast, runs downhill. He said when he gets in space, he's going to run over some guys. That time, didn't even have anybody to run over. He was untouched as he headed into the end zone. So how about that for an opening drive for the visitors from Essexville Garber? Quiet in the crowd a little bit here at Frankenmuth. Another look at it. You talked about a foot in the ground. Gets north and south, takes it in for 6. It's 7-0 Garber. Well, Garber was actually forced to try the point after one more time. There's an illegal procedure, and there you can see the end result while we're in the commercial break. So, legal procedure, they had to back the football up, and Blaze Miller's extra point try, no good. So instead of it being a 7-0 contest, it is 6-0 here with 8:46 remaining opening quarter. Could that move large?
It could, but I think there's going to be points put on the board. I really do. I don't think that this is going to be a 10-6 or 9-6 type of game, John. There'll be a lot of points. There'll be room down the road to maybe pick that up and want to go for 2. Takes a little bit of the shine off what just happened for Garber and Coach Coquillard. But he's got to be looking at us saying, man, we stretched him out. We got behind him with our receivers. We opened up the running game a little bit. What looked like a drive that was just being stifled early on ended up turning into 6 points.
No question, yeah. They're certainly able to get their skill position guys involved. They're playmakers on offense, and it's got to make you feel really good about the way things are going. So now the Eagles, we get an opportunity to possess it for the first time. And up at about the 27-yard line is where they will start their business. On the return is Sam Barger for the Eagles.
We're going to get our first look tonight at Cole Jankowski, the 6'2", 295-pound junior quarterback. who can do a lot of things. And we were watching him throw, Johnny. He's not a natural throwing quarterback, but he was extremely accurate. It doesn't look like you normally see. He's got a little bit of a slow delivery, but that's not why he's here. He's here to run the veer and to orchestrate this offense like a maestro, and that's what you're going to see him do here tonight.
Yeah, been the quarterback, basically going back to 4th grade, been working with a lot of these guys. This time, looks like football might have come loose on the exchange. Ball's down. Essexville Garber says they've got it. And they do. At the 27-yard line. Make it the 28-yard line. Looked like a little bit of a fumble between the exchange, between quarterback.
Well, you're going to see what happens. When you run against the veer, if you can blow up the mesh point, where the quarterback puts it in the belly of the fullback, and as he's riding him, he's reading. He's either going to give it or pull it. And that's Lindau. You can see right there, good pressure inside as Lindau tries to get the football. And the defensive line, I think that was Bo Miller doing a good job. You think you're going to call Alex Van Sumeren, but that was Bo Miller who got in there, messed up the mesh point, turned the ball over. What a start for the Dukes.
Unbelievable start for the Dukes. So they're going to get it. They're going to put the ball at the 29-yard line. 1st and 10. Don't be surprised if they take a shot here. And they will. Cole Quillard, though, a little bit of fumble after he tried to corral the snap out of the shotgun. And again, could have something to do with some moisture on the football. It looked like they were going to take a shot there on 1st down. Instead, Cole Quillard, heady play just to fall on it, lived to fight another down.
If we get an opportunity, sometime we're going to look at the splits of this offensive line. They have such wide splits. Normally you're going to see maybe a foot between the center guard, 2 feet between the guards and the tackle, maybe 3 feet outside. They have 3 to 4 foot splits all along the line. They try to stretch that defense out to create some natural gaps. It can be good and bad, Johnny. The good news is if the team's widen with you and so forth, it gives you an opportunity to slice and dice. But it also creates lanes for penetration.
That's a great look at it there from behind. And again, the ball comes loose. Cole Quillard tries to fall on it. A scramble for it. And they are going to say Garber maintains possession of the football, but on back-to-back snaps. Basically, if you go back, that's 3 plays in a row now where the football has been on the turf.
Well, and that's what happens when you have a quarterback like Cade Quillard, who's not a quarterback. He's a backup quarterback. He hasn't got the reps during the course. He's played the last few weeks, but he hasn't seen a defense like this who get penetration. They're so quick up front. When I say they, we're talking about the Frankenmuth Eagles with Michael Carter, Ashton Benkert, and Sean Coughlin inside. These guys just create havoc. So that's 2 in a row. That was kind of what we saw with Frankenmuth. The difference was Garber blew up the mesh point. That was just poorly handled.
So now 3rd and 20. Ball back to the 39-yard line. Cole Quillard back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Tries to dump off a screen. He was looking for Caleb Christie. Incomplete. So it was an opportunity here early in this football game to get ideal starting field position, but 3 plays, and they went 10 yards backwards.
Coach Quillard looks like he's going to call a play. In this situation, I would punt. I would get them deep, give them a long field, because your chance of picking up a 4th down and 20?
4th and 20.
Yeah, your percentage are like, maybe you do the pooch kick. Sometimes you see him line up. The quarterback might just backpedal and do the pooch, but who knows?
There it is, 4th and 20, and there it is, the kick away. And it's going to get a Garber bounce inside the 15-yard line. So pretty good. Pick up some yardage there. It's at 39. You're going to get him started at the 14. So job well done by the special teams unit.
25 yards, and that's good. You have a lead. You can play defense. You're playing excited football and fired up defensively. You got the turnover. Get your defense back out there, and hopefully you get a stop, and you can get a short field again with your offense.
So Frankenmuth been excited to watch this offense go to work. Didn't have an opportunity the first time they possessed the football. We'll see what they've got now. Quarterback Cole Jankowski, number 14. This time does hand the football off. And not much doing for Cole Lindau, though he plows forward a little bit, kept the feet churning, picks up 3 yards on the play.
A little bit different look. They're putting Alex Van Sumeren at defensive end. And, you'd mentioned that to me when we did our open, and I didn't spotlight it very well. But he does. They thought they would try to set the edge a little bit, funnel him back inside. I did talk about that, Johnny. The problem is if you do that, it's easy for a team to check away from you. So now you see him on the right side. Let's see if they become a little bit. Now they're coming left.
Handoff, Lindau. And there to make the stop.
26, Cole Lindau, the ball carrier.
What happens is you go in the huddle.
Bo
if you're
Miller
Frankenmuth, you can say, okay, we're going to run outside veer. We're going to go either right or left. You can just get the line on your cadence, do a quick check. You look at where Van Sumeren is, and you can run it the other way. Now, if you're Garber, you know that, so then maybe you load up a little bit away from Van Sumeren where you can kind of send him to the wolves, so to speak.
3rd and 2, big play. Handoff, Lindau with a little bit of room, gets into that second level, across the 30-yard lines up to the 31. That'll move the chains. Got that quick first step, doesn't he?
Yeah, this is Veer. You can see Lindau, the fullback. He's just coming through the hole. Good job that time by Jankowski, reading it and giving it. He's going to, when you run inside Veer or outside Veer, you're either reading the tackle or the end, Johnny. When you're riding it, if the tackle collapses on the back, you pull it. If the tackle works up the field, you give it. It's a pretty simple read, but it takes a lot of practice and timing as well to do it. It's simple once you've mastered it.
This time, coming around the outside, number 17, Sam Barger from the wing position. And that's going to be another first down for the Eagles.
And that was close to a touchdown. Ethan Burrows, number 35, the 6'1", 100-pound junior, does a nice job of kind of staying home. And that's just misdirection. And then you see some good speed, but good ankle tackle by Burrows. And a positive play for the Eagles as well.
Yeah, they know Barger's one of the guys with some of the better speed on this team. And again, they're moving with tempo. This time, handoff, Lindau. Maybe picks up a half yard. Nice job in pursuit by the Garber defense. In on the tackle, Dan Lazarovich. Here's the offense from the Eagles in the gray and red. Alec Martin, talented left tackle. Hunter Schmitzer over on the right side. Carter Weiss, talented right guard as well. And again, the skill positions, we talked about the Coles. Look out for Sam Barger and Hunter Letty from the wing positions. I'm going to blow this play dead.
We have offside, neutral zone, good hard count. You know, I'm going to kind of talk a little bit. Hopefully the people in the truck are listening. We want to get an ISO sometime on Jackson, the tight end. He is doing a heck of a job on Van Sumeren.
On the defense.
He is holding his own right now
against
against a power 5 defensive tackle who they're lined up at defensive end. But we saw number 30 on the field. And you look at Jackson.
Yeah, and Jackson.
Well, he's 6'5", 235. He's no hummingbird either now. I know we talked about how big Van Sumeren is.
There's the pitch. Trying to get to the outside, cutting it back up inside. Hunter Letty. That's going to bring up 3rd and manageable. Make it 3rd and 2.
Yeah, Garber had a chance to get him behind the sticks. That was Cade Coquiller from his linebacker. Got penetration, but he just couldn't get a hold of Letty. Letty was able to give him a little bit of a dead leg. See a little shake, and Coquiller misses him because now you're looking at about a 3rd and 8 or 9. And Frankenmuth, they will throw, and they can throw effectively, but it's not what they want to do.
We got 3rd and 2 here. Ball at the 48. Jankowski hands it off. Lindau, first down Eagles. So again, putting together a nice little drive. They want to run with tempo. That was one of the things they talked about coming into this football game. And as you've alluded to, they can beat you in a lot of different ways. And we've already talked about a couple of their playmakers. Lindau, Letty, Barger, and Jankowski, the young man who gets it all started at the quarterback position. That time Lindau able to move the sticks for the Eagles. Now they'll slow down and huddle up. Jankowski hands it off. Lindau into the second level one more time. Up past the 35-yard line, down to the 34. Going to be about a yard shy of a first down.
Tackle by number 35, Ethan Burrows.
Nice. They're just running a little bit of a trap. They're going to take Carter Weiss and pull him here, and we're maybe going to look at. Let's look about the Eagles. We talk about them, Johnny. We keep saying that we know where we're at, obviously, but does everyone know where Frankenmuth, Michigan is? You'd be surprised, even with Santa pretty much hanging out here year-round.
361 days a year they celebrated here in Frankenmuth. Yep. Beautiful town.
When he's not at the North Pole, he's usually here.
Right, he is. How about that? Another misdirection. And this time it's going to be Barger one more time. So Sam Barger having his number called yet again. Picks up just enough for a first down.
Interesting play. That's a wing counter where Barger's lined up on the right wing. And all the motion, the action of the backs is going to the right, and they fake it, and Barger just comes underneath, rather, and he takes the handoff.
Garber,
And
31 yard line.
5 yards, low deception. That's a play, though, you kind of set up, and as a coach, I think for a moment, thinking that might hit bigger than it did.
Lindau lined up behind Jankowski. Lindau into that second level one more time. It's been a common theme. Finally brought down by the defensive back Garrett Hayes. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 3.
They do a nice job of running the veer. They're running outside veer right now, and they hit it with speed. If you watch the quarterback, it's amazing. To get the outside mesh point when you're on outside veer, he almost has to cheat, and he gets it and he sprints to the right or left.
Lindau, one more time. Nice pursuit by the Garber defense, and not much doing. They'll ride him out of bounds.
26 Cole Lindau, the ball
Short of
carrier.
first down.
Tackled by number 5, Garrett Hayes.
Scratch that, they're going to give it to him. He was right at the sticks. I thought they might measure. Instead, nice job by Lindau, able to spin, roll, and get the first down. So they're going to give it to him without a measurement. Be 1st and 10 now, ball right at the 21-yard line. Eagles trying to answer the bell after Garber struck first in this football game. Handoff. Hunter Letty one more time.
32 Hunter Letty, the ball carrier.
Now that's their lead play. You've seen them run veer where they're riding the belly of Lindau. Well, that time he opens up and spins back. Lindau's just leading through the hole, and they're giving it to Letty, the second back, and that's just a lead off tackle. And if you see the team start to collapse, the defensive front on the first back through, and then he just kind of blows it open, and Letty's the beneficiary of it.
Eagles again coming into this football game unbeaten. Eyeing another conference championship. They can win one outright with a victory here tonight. There's the pitch. They're going to blow this one dead. Sam Barger will just have to eat this one.
A little bit of early illegal procedure here. A little motion.
Dead ball. False start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remain 2nd down.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Put it back to the original line of scrimmage. And the rain continuing to fall here. Closing into 30 seconds left to play here in the opening quarter. There's a good look at the rain starting to fall. I shouldn't say starting. It's been starting, stopping, starting. Hasn't really stopped. It's just raining.
It won't affect my hair. It might dampen yours a bit.
Quarterback keeps it. Jankowski gets blown up in the middle as he got about 5 yards on the carry. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. So it's going to be a 3rd down and about 7 when we come back. But a pretty good opening quarter, I think, if you're the Dukes of Garber coming into this football game. But it's been a sustained drive coming this way for the Frankenmuth Eagles. Can they pay it off? We'll find out. 2nd quarter action coming your way next.
Welcome back. Essexville Garber leads at the start of the 2nd quarter, 6-0. Essexville Garber is coming off a huge win against their crosstown rivals last week. So with that, Coach Coquillard and his staff wanted to reward them for their hard work. So on Monday, they surprised the team at practice with a pizza and bowling party. Now, Coach Coquillard said this is exactly what they needed. They had a great time because sometimes during the season, you get a little caught up in the game and things get a little serious. But it's nice to loosen up and have a little fun, you guys.
Sometimes you just got to shake hands with the kingpin a little bit.
You know, I'm Brooke. I'm trying to have fun up here, but Johnny makes it difficult time. He's such a professional. He's such a professional. He's so serious all the time. Just loosen up, Johnny.
Rubes, just come hang out with me.
I know, but he is the most
he
interesting
can't handle
man.
the rain.
The most interesting man in Michigan.
How about this? It's the quarterback, Jankowski. Fake the handoff. Fighting for extra yardage into the end zone. 6 points for the Eagles.
Well, a great job of flanking the defense with speed. This is a little bit of an option. We're going to get a look hopefully on the replay here. Jankowski does a good job of reading it and staying with it. He's going to pull it. He gets to the next level. Now he still has the pitch. Remember, it's a triple option. He can give to the fullback, he can run and keep it, or he can pitch it. And with the threat of Lindau behind him the entire time, he decides he's run out of real estate to the sideline, just turn it up, and then he uses his big physical presence. Now, that's a big cue at 6'2", 195.
An incredible drive by the Eagles to answer it. Have an opportunity here with a point after to give a 1-point advantage. Seth Malmo with the kick. Splits the upright, 7-6 in favor of the home team. How about that drive? You talked about it in the open, the two Coles. This time, Jankowski doing the work. Fakes the pitch. Kept it himself. Home team, Eagles, in front by 1.
Can't go to Frankenmuth without stopping at Bronner's. Now, my partner Johnny Kane, I got to get him an early Christmas ornament. These are all for runners. Maybe it doesn't like 26'2". I don't know. I don't want Johnny to run so much. He's getting kind of skinny. Cornhole. I heard you killed at the family reunion this year, Johnny, so that's a possibility. Weightlifting, subtle hint. Looking a little bit like a pencil neck. You know, when you start eating some iron. Perfect. Football. And excellent. They have Johnny Kane in his high school uniform. Early Christmas gift, Johnny.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what is that?
This is why you need to go to those afternoon shoots. You're fair game if you're not there, Johnny.
Well, where? Oh, man. Oh, I can't wait to get my Christmas tree this year. You help me cut it down this year. I'll take it out of your back lot. Oh, good stuff. Honestly, this is my first time to Frankenmuth. I always drive past every time I'm heading to northern Michigan. It's a beautiful town. And what do you know about these butter horns? I know we don't have any visuals, but anybody who's watching this broadcast, the butter horns from Poblanos?
Well, right now, Brooke Fletcher is trying to go steal the recipe from someone because she was raving about them up here.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Yeah, we can't really come down on her very much.
Tell Brooke
she had plenty. We had plenty.
We have 8 left.
Unbelievable pastry. Unbelievable football game to this point. Little pooch kick. That's going to be pretty good starting field position for Garber. If they can come on it, they're going to corral it at about the 24-yard line. So just did enough to fall on it there. Was Landon Sella. So we talked a little bit about Frankenmuth and everything that it has to offer. How about the Dukes?
On their 23-yard line.
Playing out of that Tri-Valley, of course, as we know, they've been in the playoffs 7 of the past 9 years. Everybody knows that in order to get to where you want to go, you got to get past Frankenmuth to do so. But they call Garber the gateway to the Bay.
Well, it's just east of Bay City. Yep. A little bit, I guess, a little east and southeast along the Bay. But a beautiful area, Essexville Garber, and we call them Garber tonight. We're not trying to shun Essexville, but it's just a little bit easier when you keep talking about the name of the team just to say Garber. Look at the wide splits once again.
Born to do this. You know that? A handoff right up the middle. Caleb Christie. This is the guy
number 15, Caleb Christie, the ball carrier.
Out of this game, they thought he was going to be one of the best backs that Frankenmuth would face all season. And Caleb Christie has been as advertised. Has a touchdown here on the day and also 22 yards rushing.
Well, that line of Garber has their hands full with that front four of Frankenmuth. Very quick, very athletic, strong through the hands. They got that good wrestling tradition, too. They got a couple of good wrestlers. You know how I am with wrestlers, Johnny. I like to see those wrestlers because they're so good with their hands, good strength, and excellent job of keeping people off their legs.
Here come the Dukes. Coquillet gives it off. Christie again, cutting back to the inside. Christie covers it up. Going to pick up a couple of yards. Going to be close to a first down, but I think he's going to be about a yard shy, Rubes. But a nice job. Hole wasn't there. Decided to cut it back.
Well, that's a great job. Caleb Christie, there was nothing there, and he was able to bounce it, use his speed. What I liked, it's getting a little bit of rain. The ball's getting a little wet. And you saw when the contact was coming here at the very end, a little cutback. Watch how he starts protecting the ball with his other hand, Johnny. That's just a heads-up play because you know it's going to be, people are always trying to punch it out, and when it's wet like this, it comes out a lot easier.
Now 3rd and 1. Well, we're betting, man. I would think Christie's going to get his hands on this football again, or perhaps Coquillet. They've been running the quarterback a little bit more because of his size. Maybe you take away the threat of fumbling the football. Instead, they pitch it, get it to Christie. Helmet comes popping off there. That's going to be a first down for the Dukes.
That's
How about that?
Ashton Benkert's going to have to come out. What I like, they run the toss, which tells the defense, oh, they're going wide. But Christie does a good job knowing he needs a yard. You don't have to get a touchdown, but you have to get 1 yard. He puts his foot in the ground. He heads north, and he gets it. So good job by Caleb Christie of moving the sticks.
What Ashton Benkert? Great head of hair, huh?
Well, I'm not an expert.
That's why I
I'll
asked
take your
you.
word for it, Johnny.
There's a little bitterness in me. No, it's good.
You know what my comb is? It's a razor. There we go.
Coquillett back to pass. He's going to look to exploit the outside one more time. Receiver tried to cut back for it. A little bit of contact down there, but no flags on the play. Ball was a little bit underthrown. He was looking on the outside for Braden Tacey. Another look at it.
And here's what the problem is for Frankenmuth right now. The defensive back, in that case, Jack Rich, number 9, they're not locating the football. They're so focused on the trail technique, that's fine. But when you see the receivers start to look back, you need to look back, and then you need to become the receiver as a defensive back and play the ball. That's a good job by Tracy. He almost came back. If it was thrown a little bit better, he would have come back, undercut the DB, and made the catch. I see him taking more shots. They're coming. They have success on 2.
There's Christie, able to keep his feet, and if he was able to keep it a little bit longer, he might have been able to break that one. As it were, he's going to pick up just a couple of yards on the play, going to bring up 3rd down. Again, these wet conditions, they are having a little bit of an impact. Don't know how much it's impacting the ball. They're trying to throw down the field, but again, sometimes trying to keep your feet and everything else when it gets a little slick out there. That's tough to do, even though this is a nice all-purpose field, no question about it. A good look at the rain coming down here in Eagle Country. So 3rd and 7, big play on this drive. Ball at the 37-yard line. Coquillard out of the shotgun formation. Back to pass. Coquillard now flush from the pocket. Rolling to his right, checks it underneath. He'll be well short of a 1st down. Was able to complete it to Max Fellows, but that's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, the receivers for Garber have to do a better job to understand the scramble rules. When your quarterback breaks the pocket, he scrambles to you, you need to scramble away. In other words, you need to adjust your route, get away, pull the defense away, and try to get behind him. That time Fellows just kind of ran with him, which is, people say, oh, he was there, he was open. But he's open for a 1-yard gain.
On the 38-yard line.
But Coquillard, as we saw before, they'll line up. Yep. They've got 4 receivers here, but he could punt out of this formation, and that he's going to do. A low driving punt. That one's going to roll. Actually stays in bounds. Looked like it was heading out of bounds. Instead, going to come to a halt there at the 28-yard line. So that's where the Eagles of Frankenmuth will take over once more. That's a pretty good football game.
Yeah, about a 30-yard net punt.
You take that. We're going to take a break. Back after this.
Touchdown earlier in the game, but listen, he also channels that energy into being the leader of the student cheering section for the girls volleyball team. Now he decided to become the leader earlier this year, and they go to every single match. Cole leads the chants. They put on skits. They even get shirts made. He gets really into it. He said last week, you guys, he was cheering so loud that he actually almost passed out. Who knew that girls volleyball matches would get so intense? But Johnny and Rubes, they don't have a name yet for the student section, so they're taking suggestions if you got any.
I think if you give Rubes another couple of minutes.
Find one of those volleyball players and marry her. That's what I did. 5'10", I got 6'4" boys. That's what you do. Well, I mean for the future. I don't mean next week, Johnny.
There's the pitch to Lindau. Cole Lindau trying to get to the outside. He's going to be brought down to the 41-yard line. And you know what he has done with that particular carry, Rubes? He has surpassed 1,000 yards rushing for the season. Came in just 41 yards shy of 1,000. That's going to put him over 50 for the game. Look at the speed once he gets to the edge.
Oh, they're afraid. Coach Coquillard said one of their goals was to keep 26 contained. He said, you're not going to stop him, but we can't let him get any space because he said he can go the distance at any time.
And we're getting a false start there. Going to blow that one dead. Yes, certainly Cole Lindau, just a fabulous player. Career 2,300 rushing yards.
On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That puts him fourth all-time Frankenmuth history. So only the third Frankenmuth rusher to get 1,000 yards rushing in 2 separate seasons. So congratulations, that young man, number 26 in gray, Cole Lindau. One of the better backs certainly in this conference, and one of the better backs in the state. That'll be 1st and 15. Ball now back to the 36-yard line. Handoff. Lindau gets past the first line of attack, broke a tackle, and eventually brought down by Caleb Christie. Back past the original line of scrimmage by a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9.
Well, he hit with so much speed when you run the veer off tackle that it looks like Tanner Shapansky's going to have a good chance of getting him for like a 1-yard gain. But by the time Shapansky scrapes and he gets there, he starts to reach for him. He's already past him. That's just hitting it and doing what the coach wants. When you can attack with speed, it makes everything more difficult defensively.
Jankowski balls loose. You're going to have to fall on it. Sam Barger does just that. So again, this Frankenmuth team shot itself in the foot a couple of times here tonight. They've had some issues with the exchange and with the snap. Same can be said on the other side as well. What do you see here, Ruth?
Well, that's just a low snap on a wet night. Maybe on a dry night, that's not an issue. But at the ankles of the quarterback, Jankowski can't get it. It goes on the ground. A really heads-up job coming in motion that time and just picking up with Sam Barger. And that's what you want to do, live to fight another day. Now, if you're Essexville Garber, do you bring pressure here? Do you bring your linebackers and try to create another TFL?
Another whistle, and I think there was movement.
Yeah, they're leaving early on the right side. We had one early on in the game. We saw the motion.
Dead ball. Ball stop. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Watch a tight end to the right here. I think he goes early if I'm...
Yep.
And that's who it is. They're going to get Jackson. I mean, I like the idea that he's really trying to get off of the ball because as a receiver, the advantage you have is knowing the snap count. And the quicker you get into your route and start closing that cushion with that defensive back, the better chance of you having some success. But you do have to wait till the cadence is finished and you can go. Now they really dug a hole, and if you're the Garber Dukes, you just say, okay, play soft coverage, keep everything in front of you, and what do? They come out and man press. Amazing. That shows you what I know. Coach Quillard saying, all right, we're going to go for the jugular.
Frankenmuth.
So Frankenmuth going to take its first time out of the half. We got a good football game here playing out. We knew it was going to be good. We thought there'd be a lot of points scored, but right now it's 7-6 in favor of the Eagles. You're watching Football Fridays on Bally Sports. And let's take a look back. Last season, this was the state finals at Ford Field. Frankenmuth, first ever state championship appearance. Able to find the end zone, but ran up against a really tough Grand Rapids Catholic Central team that went on to win the football game 48-21. But pretty good run there in Division 5. And the Eagles, they've continued to build. 2016, they get past the Division finals and continue to get in the postseason. Last year, make it to the championship. Now they want to hoist the hardware.
Yeah, and a little setback over at Grand Rapids Catholic Center with Savari, the quarterback, getting hurt. Now they're playing with a backup.
Jankowski airing it deep on 3rd and long, and that incomplete.
Yeah, so getting back to that game. So Frankenmuth, I think Division 5 opened up quite a bit because Grand Rapids Catholic Center is loaded again. And they had a lot of their skilled players back. The one kid, I can't think of his name, is going to Notre Dame. D1, a Power 5 kid. But yet, they lose your quarterback, and Savari was very, very good high school quarterback. I think he's probably like a MIAA or maybe a GLIAC kid. But you lose him, someone else has to step up. And so far, it's working. They're still rolling teams pretty well.
3 regional titles in the past 5 years for Frankenmuth. But the Eagles forced to punt here. Plenty of time to get it away. That is a big leg. Good night, Irene. Ball's going to check up at the 32-yard line. How about the leg?
Oh, we were watching Melmo.
Seth Melmo.
We were watching Melmo in pregame. Just boom some. We know he has a big leg. We were watching kick field goals, and from 42, 43, he was easily getting it through about halfway up the uprights, and also doubles up as a punter. And people look at Frankenmuth and say, really? You get all that talent on offense, you get all that speed on defense, and you get a kicker too? All 3 faces? I mean, how about spreading the wealth with some of these other teams? Here's a look at the other teams. Freeland and Garber and Swan Valley.
Yeah, those teams, Frankenmuth, Freeland, Garber, and Swan Valley over the last 4 or 5 years. I mean, that's been it. But again, you want to win a conference championship, you got to come through Frankenmuth, and that's what Garber's trying to do here tonight, trailing by just a point. Hand off to Caleb Christie, nowhere to go. Christie maybe picks up a yard on the carry. And that Frankenmuth defense, again, quickness, not a ton of size, but very quick.
Number 34, Dane
and they're
Wright.
sound.
Number 42.
And the whole philosophy of Coach Quillard is spread them out. The problem with that, when you play a front that's maybe not real big, but is extremely athletic and quick, man, and they're a slanting defense. They create a lot of gaps that they can get penetration in. And if you do that, that does give your running back time to really see the hole and get to it.
Hey, saw Michael Carter, Drew Titsworth. A couple of good players. 2nd and 9 now. Back to pass, Quillard looking for Fellows, reaching out and almost brought it in. Man, what a first half for Max Fellows. They say he catches the fade better than anybody on this team. Quillard put it right out there. Look at Fellows trying to go out and get underneath it. Just off the outstretched fingertips.
I've seen enough of Fellows, and that's just an unbelievable throw because the coverage is pretty good. Floyd was right there with him, right on the hip. But once again, he did not locate the ball. And I'll say this in defensive back. We always say, you got to locate the ball. Well, once a guy's by you, Johnny, you're trying to catch him. Yeah. You're running as fast as you can.
You're talking to a former DB.
Yeah, right. You know, as soon as you turn back, you're losing speed.
Sure.
So you have to either not look back and rip and strip when the receiver reaches, or just run for your dear life.
Yeah, the key is don't let him get past you. That's my coach told me. How about this? A little misdirection, trying to come the other way on 3rd and long, and not much doing. Logan Anthony. They call him the little Mighty Mouse. But they lost a yard. That's going to bring up 4th and 10. Ball at their own 32-yard line.
They're going to go back in that short set, kind of a pistol look, and they're going to punt the ball. You see Cade Quillard talking to his dad on the sideline. If I'm Frankenmuth, though, I'm thinking about dropping a guy back. They're not. It's their 32-yard line. They are not going for it here. They are going to punt the football. I would drop the guy deep safety, although they're not exactly booming it and killing you.
As Coach Quillard gets it away. Ball goes to the 35-yard line, checks up right around there. It's going to come to rest at the 33. So didn't flip the field 100%, but able to at least pin Frankenmuth back a little bit. And of course, coming up here at halftime, much to come. We're going to delve into a tale of two Coles. We caught up with the Eagles quarterback and the running back duo, Cole Jankowski and Cole Lindow. We talked about him plenty. One of the favorite restaurants here in Frankenmuth to talk Eagle football that's coming up. You're not going to want to miss this. Great personalities, great kids. And a great interview coming your way here at the half. So we'll see Frankenmuth plenty of time here. 4.5 minutes still remaining here in the second quarter. Jankowski to Lindow, the aforementioned. No, fakes it. Instead pitches it back to Barger. And Barger, how about that? The Garber defense swarming, brought down by 3.
Johnny,
Dukes.
if we're going to look at this, I want you to watch number 5, Garrett Hayes. It's tough to play the option any better. He's on an island. He forces the pitch. He kind of cat and mouses it, and then is able to go outside. Doesn't make the tackle, but by doing what he did, it forced Sam Berger to turn it up and allowed the linebackers to get there. So a really nice play by Hayes.
Yeah, Garrett Hayes. That was a great look at that as well. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 4. They did pick up 6 yards on the play. This time, whistle comes in again. Was there early movement? We'll wait to see.
You're like a Swami here. You just know what's going
to happen. Dead ball. False start.
Well, I'm watching the same game.
I know. But here's the thing. Using this offense when they're under center, it looks to me like the center is slow on the snap right now. I think Bryce Campbell's a little bit slow because you have 3 linemen on the left side. We're all in the pulling position. They're running power this way. When 3 guys go and that ball isn't quite snapped, that tells me it's on the center. So Bryce has got to get his snaps a little bit quicker here.
2nd and 9. Jankowski, pitch. A little bit of running room. And brought down. Here comes the flag. Face mask is going to be called.
Yeah, they're going to get Ethan Burrows comes up.
It's Hunter Letty, the ball carrier.
I thought it was Lindau. That's when you heard me say, uh-oh, because I know the type of speed. Letty, a good run, not quite the top-end speed. I thought he was going to get the corner and get to the side and head down. And that's just Burrows trying to make a play. And you grab sometimes as a defender, and whatever you get, you get.
Face mask, 5 yards on the defense. 5 yards to the end of the run, first down.
Yeah, so Hunter Letty flashing a little bit of that speed. Penalty assessed to Ethan Burrows. So now ball is going to come all the way up to the 42-yard line. Frankenmuth with plenty of time. Jankowski going to keep it himself. Trying to follow his lead blocker. Caleb Christie rides him down near the 35-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and 5. So see if the Garber defense can stiffen up. Played a whale of a first half so far in this one. Under 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Jankowski now has got a single receiver at the top of the screen. Jankowski going to keep it himself. Lowers the shoulder. Got stood up. And Ethan Burrows in on the stop, but not before the Eagles pick up another first down. They've gone back-to-back carries with Cole Jankowski. And now approaching 2.5 minutes to play here in the second quarter as they wind the clock. And now they are going to stop it.
Time.
As Garber decides to take the timeout here. So let's take a look at the standings in Division 5. Again, we talk about how well Frankenmuth has played to this point in the season. And we've had a chance to see, you talked about Grand Rapids Catholic Central, good football team.
Really good football team. Really talented. Not the biggest offensive line, but a lot of height and very athletic. And they got big-time playmakers. And they play a very, very tough schedule. I think that's what Frankenmuth plays a couple tough games a year. But I think when they get into the playoffs, what hurts them is they don't have enough experience in bigger games against bigger teams. But that's no fault of their own. It's the conference they're in. And it's top-heavy a little bit, but you'd rather be playing competitive, hard-nosed games like they're getting here tonight with Garber. It just prepares you for the playoffs much better. Where Grand Rapids Catholic Central playing over in the OKN, what color it is, red, white, blue, I don't know, one of those colors. It's down a little bit, but they're, each and every week they're getting a pretty quality football team they're facing off against, and then their non-league schedule. I mean, they played Lapeer, a Division I school, who's a good Division I school. And they beat Lapeer at the Big House. So that would be like Frankenmuth playing Grand Blanc or Clarkson. So that's a they're out there looking for bodies to play against.
I'll tell you what, this Frankenmuth team, I mean, again, they've got their eyes set on getting back to Ford Field. And certainly a game like this, they're going to learn a lot about themselves. They'd like to learn a lot about themselves in a win, but we'll have to see. Jankowski hands the football off. And Cole Lindau picks up maybe a yard. So again, this Garber defense, they knew who they were going to key in on, and they've done a fabulous job to this point.
Well, yeah, they have. They've done a pretty good job, but what I'm thinking is, we haven't called much tonight. Alex Van Zoomer. Yeah. I don't know. He's not even in the game. I'm not sure if he's injured. What's going on? But you got a Power 5 defensive tackle, 4th-rated player in the state of Michigan. He's not in the game.
Lindau gets past the first man, keeps the feet moving. He's going to pick up the first down. Tough running from Cole Lindau. Again, eclipsed 1,000 yards rushing for the second time in his career.
There's that outside veer. They're working up the field, so the give by Jankowski. Lindau's got a little bit of the whirling dervish in him. He likes to spin on contact.
Yeah, he does.
And it seems to be working pretty well for him, as you said, over 1,000 yards this season.
Yeah, Ethan Burrows, one of the Dukes in on the tackle. So, look, if you're Garber right now, ball's at the 15-yard line, you're thinking we got to hold these guys to 3 points at worst. Played too good of a first half to give up another score here this late. But Lindau with other ideas inside the 5-yard line. Explosive speed when he hits the hole. And again, tough holding on to the football as well, carrying it out in the right arm.
Yeah, that veer's getting tougher and tougher. And they just keep pounding it with speed. And Jankowski does a nice job of getting to the mesh point and reading it correctly. He gives it to Lindau when he needs to, and he keeps it sometimes. And sometimes you see him run the complete triple part of it, the triple option where he gets outside with Letty also is the pitch back.
First and goal from the 4-yard line. Jankowski keeping it himself, fighting for the goal line. He's going to be stopped short. Or Garber defense. I think it was Ethan Burrows one more time coming up from the safety position and plugged that gap. Take a look at number 35. No, he didn't even he had to get up there and cleaned it up. That was because Dan Lazarovich came in and got the initial stop. So that's now second goal from the 2.
It's a big stop. No urgency at all with Frankenmuth. Timeouts, they still have 2 remaining, so they know they have plenty of time at second down and goal.
Jankowski keeps it himself. Fake the handoff. Keeps it himself. Takes it in for the touchdown.
Well, this Garber offense has got to start helping the Garber defense, because here in the second quarter it seems like this Frankenmuth offense has been on the field an awful lot. And this is, once again, this is a good job. We're going to see here on the replay of faking it and then pulling it and then just tucking it, and nice job getting a block. And that's Jackson. I'm telling you, 30's got some nasty in him. He is a physical tight end. Usually you don't see that type of physicality until you get to the collegiate level. I'm going to believe someone's going to take a shot on that kid. I mean, he's 6'5", 235 already, in high school.
And how about that? Bobble snap going to be corralled by Garber.
Keeps it a touchdown and a
7-point
kicking
game.
Conversion, a PAT.
Yeah. So just a 7-point game after nearly 2 quarters of play. Again, looked like snap was decent.
Yeah, I think it was. That's Travis Brenner holding, and he just bobbled the snap a little bit. And
wet football's Rubes.
It does. It is. And
Wet
it's coming
football.
down. This one I'm in the booth, though, Johnny. Look at the lights. You see the rain coming down from the lights. Yeah. It's hard to tell how hard it's raining. You know who might know, though, is Brooke. Because she's down. I gave her my big umbrella because I felt bad for her.
Yeah, you did. That's your umbrella?
Yeah, that's my. Oh, look at it. Now that looks like it's pouring, doesn't it?
It's coming down. Can Brooke hear us?
Does it look like it's pouring? You look at the lights.
Yeah. We'll take a look at the crowd. Ask them.
Pouring.
I think
it's pouring.
I think Brooke went to the bakery to get
Just
some
to
of
let
those.
you guys know, it is definitely pouring down here.
Do you have?
But I'm fine. Thank you for checking.
Do you have the big umbrella, Brooke? Are you using the big umbrella?
This was a game changer. I really appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
My little one wasn't holding up too well.
Yeah, well, hang in there.
A little rain never hurt nobody.
No, that's true. Brooke's going to be catching up with Coach Phil Martin here as we head into halftime. And again, we talked about that really neat interview she did with the 2 Coles from Frankenmuth, who are holding on to a 13-7 lead. I'll tell you what, I know a lot of the fans that have showed up here tonight and a great crowd on hand, especially here for the home side. But I think Frankenmuth, they respect what Garber has brought, to the fight here, especially through the first half.
Yeah, they've been very game, as you could say. Now, let's see, they got 18 seconds, and they have 2 timeouts. They may take a shot. But I got to believe if you're Frankenmuth and Coach Phil Martin, you're going to tell your corners, okay, I know we play that hard inside technique where we kind of turn our back. Let's soften up a little bit. Let's get about 10 to 12 yards. If they catch it in front of you, no harm, no foul. We just can't have people get behind. We need to get someone deep, and who better than that? You get Horde. We get a shot here. He's going back as a deep safety. Number 5. He's one of the good athletes.
Yeah.
Aiden Horde.
Yeah,
6'3", 200-pound junior. Yeah.
Well, they've got to take a look for Garber with Max Fellows and Braden Tacey, a couple of their talented wide receivers.
Yeah, but look at the
side of the screen is Fellows, number 4. You're right.
There's no man press right now. This is just intelligent football.
Oh, they're going to hand it off. Caleb Christie. They're going to keep it on the ground and feel pretty good about being down just 7 after 2 quarters of play. That's going to take us to the half here at Frankenmuth High School. But again, really impressive coming in. We knew what Garber wanted to do. They wanted to try to run clock. They wanted to possess the football, keep the playmakers of Frankenmuth off the field as best they could.
Yeah, when David beat Goliath, he had to be close enough with that slingshot, right? Well, you got to stay close if you're Garber. If you're going to take down Goliath, you have to keep yourself in the game. And one of my keys, we didn't get a chance to get to, though, was be around, hang around by the 4th quarter. You need to be there when, to get to the fourth quarter. If you're 2-3 touchdowns down, you're not going to get there. But if you're one possession down, you have a chance.
Well, one thing we've also noticed about this rivalry, especially here in recent years, is they got to play physical for the full 48 minutes. We've seen it through 24 minutes. Garber has certainly been up to the fight, but can they continue it for another 24 minutes? It gets wet out there. You get a little bit fatigued out there, but certainly I think it won't take very much rah-rah from Coach Coquillard to say, hey, boys, everything is still in front of us. We're in a good football game. Let's get downstairs quickly. Brooke Fletcher standing by with Coach Phil Martin of the Frankenmuth Eagles.
Yeah, I'm trying to share my umbrella here, but he's wet. Coach, very impressive game so far, but what impressed you most from your team in the first half?
Well, right now we're able to grind out some yards. We got to get some big plays, break some tackles, but our kids are playing hard, and we just got to keep it up in the second half.
Cole Jankowski really stepping up big in the first half. What's going to be your message to him and the rest of your team in order to take this thing home here tonight?
Oh, there's a lot of game played, yet to be played. So, we got to keep it up. We got to make sure that we take care of business, take care of the ball, no more dumb penalties.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Johnny, back to you.
I'll tell you what, we got to get him a hat down there. But that's a coach going out there, living it, breathing it, loving it. His football team with a 13-6 advantage here through one half of play. Again, stick around. Some entertaining elements coming up from both schools coming up here at halftime. You're watching Football Fridays here on Bally Sports.
Welcome back. The Eagles lead 13-6 here at the half. And a huge part of that is because of Cole Lindau. He's been making a name for himself in the Eagles backfield so far this season, and he's on the verge of breaking records. But he attests a lot of that success to the chemistry he's built with quarterback Cole Jankowski. Now, they call themselves Cole Squared. Now, they're not only teammates, they're also longtime best friends. And so I had a chance to catch up with the two of them earlier this week at a favorite local spot of theirs, Da Vinci's, to learn more about their relationship and also Frankenmuth football.
Jim Vandervelde graduated from Michigan State University. Hey, you got it. I want you and we will just win for all.
Okay, what should I call you guys? Cole 1, Cole 2, Cole Squared? What?
Cole Squared. Yeah.
Cole Square? Where are we? Where are we right now?
I got it. We're Da Vinci's.
I got it.
We come here every Thursday before the game, after practice, and they feed us pasta and breadsticks and stuff like that. And they're pretty nice to us here.
Well, Da Vinci's has been feeding the football team, since the 80s? How would you describe what Frankenmuth football means to the city?
I think it means a lot. I mean, this last year with the playoff run, we couldn't have fans in the stadium except for our parents. So when we left the town, there were people lined up for miles, all the way down to Birch Run at the exit, just cheering us on the bus. So you could just tell that they really cared about us, even though they weren't in the stands.
Yeah, that was your first trip to the state finals. Yeah. What was that like?
It's cool.
Just cool?
Yeah, it was cool.
Lindau, a hesitation move and a good one. Found a hole, breaks free. He could be gone. He gone.
You guys are undefeated. And it's your senior year. I mean, how's it been going for you?
This guy is tearing it up. So I'm enjoying it.
You've been doing okay, I would say. What is it? You had 318 rushing yards against Freeland. Cole, you had a pretty easy night, I would say, that night, huh? Just passing the ball off to this guy.
Yeah, it's fun seeing his little legs run down the field for 93 yards. So, yeah, pretty special.
You guys have been, playing with each other for a while, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. Like third grade.
Okay. So how would you describe your relationship?
We can't really take each other seriously ever.
Yeah, I got to match the energy.
That is true.
Is that how it's like on the field? Do you give it back to him? Because, I mean, we know that.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Bridgeport game, wide open. Drop my pass.
You give him a little too?
Well, I told him to throw a better ball.
It hit him right in the
Okay, well, let's talk about your coach, Coach Martin. He got his 100th win this season. So what was that like getting the coach that win?
It was great. Earlier in the week, we signed a football for him. Gave that to him after the game, and we were all excited. And especially against a rival against Birch Run.
And it's awesome. You can tell he truly cares about us. Like, he always goes to bat, so we like playing for him.
He also pushes things off the field, right, like community service and stuff. So what does he mean to the town of Frankenmuth?
I think it means a lot to him. We go to the American Legion Hall and do landscaping, clean up around there for him. We go to the Aerospace Museum, clean up around there too. He makes sure we give it back to the community for what they donate and give to us.
This Friday against Garber. This is a huge game every single year. What can we expect from the atmosphere on Friday?
It's going to be loud. I mean, it's already homecoming. With you guys there, it's going to be even bigger, especially because we can clinch the TVC outright. I mean, I've played them forever, and Logan Anthony, the best wide receiver that we've seen in the conference by far, and with Vance Uhrman down low, and they're elite, so we just got to be ready.
One of our best games. I think we got to show up prepared, and then the rest will take care of itself.
You got to throw better passes.
Yep.
Apparently.
Wow. That's lots of film.
Like Cole had said in the piece, Da Vinci's feeds them every Thursday. Now, last year they used to switch it up between Eagle subs and pasta, but Coach Martin said, listen, they had to cut the subs out because last year, the 2 times that they did have the subs, well, they lost those games. So you know how superstitious people can get in sports. So they just stick to the pasta this year, and clearly it's been paying off for them because they're undefeated and they're playing pretty well in this game because they're up 13-6 here at the half. Much more to come from Frankenmuth when we return. Stick around. Welcome back to Frankenmuth. It's halftime. Hey, this is a big game, but it's also special because it's homecoming night. And as you can see, they are actually, as we speak, they are announcing the homecoming queen. They just announced it. Congratulations to her. What a special moment. But along with that, we also have the band performing. And listen, these coaches preach how important it is for their players to be well-rounded. Some play multiple sports, but for Eagles' Michael Carter, he chose the arts. He is actually one of 2 drum majors for Frankenmuth's marching band. And tonight, he had a double dose of duties, played the first half, and then at halftime, still in uniform, led the band in 2 songs. Now you're probably wondering how he has been able to manage both, but he said it hasn't been an issue. Coach Martin and his band instructor have been very supportive. So great to see that he is able to do both. Now the 4th annual Legacy Senior All-Star Game is coming up and will be hosted this upcoming November 28th in Brighton at the Legacy Center Sports Complex. And the event will once again be televised on Bally Sports Detroit. 80 of Michigan's best graduating seniors from across the state will strap their helmets on for the final time and showcase their skills for a statewide audience. Much more to come from here at Frankenmuth when we come back. Stick around. There she is, Frankenmuth's new homecoming queen, Macy Jacobs, taking some pictures with her friends. And what better way to celebrate than with some fireworks, right?
I can tell you right now, it is raining pretty good out here in Frankenmuth. Football Fridays on Bally Sports are brought to you by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Family, not just the name of our company, but it's the way we do business. Also by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. The vaccine is our way out of COVID-19. Find your vaccine at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. And by Feiger Law, nobody knows the law like we do. Feiger Law. It's set for the second half here. But hey, Hockey Town, don't forget, Red Wing season has officially begun. Bally Sports will bring you all the action. You can catch the Wings again tomorrow night as they take on the Vancouver Canucks down at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. Our coverage begins at 6:30 on Bally Sports Detroit.
Team about to take the field for the second half, but Coach, we noticed a huge part of your defense, Alex Van Sumeren, did not play in the second quarter. What is his status, and will he return in the second half?
Yeah, he's got something going on with his shoulder right now. We're not real sure what it is, so we're probably going to play it on the safe side. I don't know if he'll return or not.
Well, your defense put on a great performance in the first half, but you guys are down. What is your message to your offense in order to get something going here in the second half?
You know, just keep doing what we're doing right now. It's tough in the rain right now. Handling the ball early on was difficult. We like to throw it a little bit more than we have been able to, but we're going to put everything we have out on this field in the second half, and I'm so proud of our kids in the first half. We came out and did really what we wanted to do, and that's control the clock and control the ball.
All right, thank you so much, Coach.
Absolutely.
Johnny, back to you.
All right, thank you, Fletch. Yeah, certainly that would be a big storyline in this game is if Van Sumeren does not return. But there again, that being said, you said he might take up the space of three guys. There's still a lot of other guys. Well, even Van Sumeren out there, this Garber defense has been up to the challenge.
Well, they really did a nice job. But when he was in there, what it does is it helps you defensively know where the ball is going because they were running it away for most of the first quarter when he was in the game. So that tells the people on the weak side, away from Alex Van Sumeren, okay, here comes the ball. Be ready. Let's fill. Let's be physical at the point of attack. So if he doesn't play, that's a huge loss. I mean, this is Division V football. This isn't Division I where you're Belleville and you have 5 or 6 guys going to Power 5 conferences after the season's done. So it's a tough obstacle to overcome.
Let's take a look at the first half stats again. Frankenmuth really dominated as far as running the football and first downs and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're still only up 7 on the scoreboard. Garber had those couple of big plays to Fellows out on the outside from Coquillard to Fellows, and that was on their opening drive of the football game.
Yeah, that's where a lot of their yards in the passing game came from. But look at the passing yards for Frankenmuth. People say, oh, they can't throw the ball. Well, they rushed for 167. So if you do that in the second half, you're rushing for 334 yards. I think most coaches, you tell them we're going to run for 334, would be happy.
On that Cole Lindau, again, their leading rusher, eclipsed 1,000 yards for the season. Earlier this year had a 300-yard game. So, again, they've got him going, and I can tell you firsthand experience, not that we didn't take Brooke's word for it, but it is raining heavily down there, and it has impacted what these teams have wanted to do. It's a little chill in the air. And now that the boys come back, dried off a little bit from halftime, we'll see how things transpire here in the third quarter. It will be Garber who's going to get the football first. And again, remember they kicked it away to start this game, but there was a fumble on Frankenmuth's first snap of the football game, and Garber was able to capitalize when they got the football back. So it'll be the young man, Elijah Tyson there, you saw. Well, excuse me, it is Garber that's going to kick it away. Well, Frankenmuth's going to get the football here to start the third quarter as Elijah Tyson runs up to the football and kicks it away. Got a pretty big leg, and that one is going to go back out of the back of the end zone. So it'll be the Eagles who start this third quarter at their own 20-yard line. Good look at Coach Martin talking to Cole Jankowski. Nice to see his personality there at halftime. A great young man. Funny kid.
Da Vinci's, huh?
Da Vinci's.
I have to stop him.
Yeah, that's the last thing.
I wonder if
you
you call Frankenmuth football, if they'll give you free food as well.
Yeah, maybe they'll watch him put a plug in there. They'll know what you look like as soon as you walk in. Jankowski from the shotgun. Pitches to Barger. Barger on the outside, cuts it back across the 30, shakes the tackle. He's going to be brought down at the 47-yard line. Sam Barger, a little burst in his step before he's finally brought down.
Well, this is nice. They just flank him quickly with the toss. They get outside. But really, an unbelievable effort coming back all the way to help in on that play was Adam Petro from his defensive line position. He doesn't quit on the play, and that's his maximum effort. Well, that's going to be a touchdown as Barger was starting to turn it up and head for the end zone.
Yeah, good play from Petro to save that touchdown, or what could have been a touchdown. So Sam Barger's had a couple of nice plays here tonight. Fell on a loose ball late in the second quarter as well. Eagles trying to give themselves a little breathing room in this football game. They're going to have to burn a timeout.
Timeout. Frankenmuth. They're first of the half.
A little miscommunication
Yeah,
after the big first down.
Yeah, but Phil Martin does the right thing. You take a timeout. You're ahead of the sticks. You don't want to be first and 15. You're a running team, and all of a sudden, Garber comes up, gets a TFL tackle for loss, and now you're at a second and really long, and you're really wasting a drive. So take the penalty or take the timeout. Talk to your players, get your formation right, get your personnel set, and start fresh.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier in this game about some of the confidence that Frankenmuth has coming into this season. A lot of confidence that they gained knowing that they compete just beyond their league. Once they've been to a place, now that they've been to Ford Field, again, they fell up short against Grand Rapids Catholic Central. But, the fact that they were able to play for a state championship and have their eyes set on it again, they came in confident this year, and they thought they'd lean on their defense quite a bit to get them there. They're unbeaten coming into this point. Their offense has looked pretty good at this point in the season as well. There's Jankowski. He's a big reason why. He's following his lead blockers. Jankowski lowering the shoulder, but he's going to be wrapped up at the 45-yard line and in on the tackle, number 55 for Garber. That's Dan Lazarovich.
Yeah, and I don't want to belabor a point, but people, a lot of time in the stands, you call a timeout like that, like, oh, you're wasting a timeout. You're 2nd and 3 now, instead of a possible 1st and 15. Is that wasting a timeout? You're continuing your drive. You're staying ahead of the sticks. So I think it was a well-timed timeout. Settle things down and just keep this offense rolling. I like to see they go some empty set. Now this is a double wing formation. Watch quarterback possibly coming this way, or pitch it the other.
Pitch it Barger trying to cut back upfield. He's going to be swallowed up after a gain of about 1. Caleb Christie, one of the Dukes, in on the stop.
Now, the reason I said that, Johnny, I watched one of their game films this year, and when they went twins, a lot of times out of empty, I should have noticed they'll bring the wing across, and they'll try to outflank you at the point of attack. There are 4 or 5 blockers blocking 3 quickly because of formation.
You saw number 19, Tanner Shapansky, also in there from the linebacker spot. He's been a good football player for him. Cole Lindau gets a burst of speed on 3rd and 2, picks up the first down across the 40-yard line. And they'll say, move it along. Another first down.
This is different for me, watching outside veer out of the pistol set. I've always seen teams from under center run it, and the quarterback goes straight down the line of scrimmage. He kind of catches it. He just starts sprinting there to get to the mesh point. And what I like about it is the tailback, Lindau, he has a full head of steam when he's hitting the mesh point.
Barger, counter, Barger inside the 30-yard line, gain of 11. That'll move the chains one more time. Inside 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter. So Frankenmuth coming out here to open the frame with a little momentum.
Now this is the yo-yo. We call this, you get the defense on a yo-yo, because you're going right, you're going left, up, down, and they just don't know where you're hitting them now. They've been hit with the veer going right. They show veer going to the right. They run the wing counter back underneath to the left. And this is just an offense that's clicking on all cylinders right now.
Jankowski kept it himself. Picks up 2 yards.
That's a much better job of the linebacker scraping, because the defensive end that time, I think it was Petro, did a nice job at the mesh point of staying up or collapsing on the mesh point, forcing Jankowski to pull it. And when he did that, this time the linebackers were there as he tried to turn it up after he pulled the ball.
Second and 8 now from the 25-yard line. Jankowski pitches it. Hunter Letty inside the 20. And he's brought down. Ethan Burrows in on the stop. So Hunter Leddy tried to get to the outside and turn upfield. But there was Ethan Burrows again.
Yeah,
he led the Dukes in tackles there in the first half.
I was just going to say, that's one of those good news, bad news. Good news is that's his 9th tackle of the game. The bad news is that's your safety's 9th tackle of the game.
Yeah.
Because that means they're getting to the next level too much.
Exactly. Single receiver up top. Jankowski keeps it himself. He's going to be brought down in a hurry. Dan Lazarovich, the junior defensive end, one more time getting into the backfield, staying with the QB.
A great job of beating the trap block, or actually the lead block inside, and then he just slides to the hole and gets the quarterback Jankowski before he can get going. It's 2 plays in a row where Jankowski's pulled it and nothing's been there. What a job! If they can get a stop here, this is a huge win for the Dukes.
4th and 3. Jankowski comes to the line. Lindow behind him. Jankowski gives it to Lindow. Continues moving forward to the 15-yard line. He's going to have it by 2 yards. So on 4th and 3, they did not hesitate. Got to the line of scrimmage, went back to the bread and butter. And the butter is the butter horn. Cole Lindow.
And that's it. You could just see the defensive end trying to squeeze down, but just can't get him in time because he hits it with such speed. You look at them, it might have been Cade Coquillard, the outside linebacker, who missed him.
Tanner Shapansky, one of the guys in on the stop, but now a ball down to the 15-yard line. And Frankenmuth continuing to run it. Going to go to the outside with Sam Barger. Again, he stood up, picks up a couple of yards, but another counter play. Positive yardage on first down. Going to bring up 2nd and long. Eagles coming out with a really nice drive to open the 3rd quarter against the Dukes. And again, if you're just tuning in, Garber's best defensive player has been unable to go since early in the 2nd quarter. Alex Van Sumeren dealing with a shoulder injury. Jankowski to Lindow. Lindow down to the 5-yard line. That's going to be a first down, going to bring up 1st and goal for the Eagles. Another look at it, Rubes.
Yeah, and you know it's coming. There's nothing you can do. The execution and the blocking up front is just too good. The speed they hit it with after the mesh, when you see the quarterback riding it, it's just a difficult task to do. You can prepare all week. There's no way to simulate what Frankenmuth does if you're Garber in practice. Your second string is not going to be able to show you that type of speed and quickness that they hit the hole.
Jankowski gives it to Lindow into the end zone for the first time tonight. The 1,000-yard rusher, Cole Lindow, finds pay dirt. And the Eagles open up a 2-touchdown advantage here at home.
Well, this is the outside veer that Frankenmuth has made famous over the years. It used to be Montrose in this area that ran it under Tony Neese. And they just keep hitting it off tackle with speed. And look at the good job at the point of attack blocking by the big fellas up front. That's just really nice. That was a lead block by Drew Titsworth, as well as Barker was in there getting a good push.
And on to try the point after to make it a 26 ball game. You betcha. That's Seth Malmo, the senior. 20-6. It's the Eagles on top of the Dukes. Thanks to that man, Cole Lindow. And thanks to that man, Cole Jankowski.
I don't go as far.
You see this smile? It's because I finally made it to Zenders. This spread is outstanding. They have everything. They have squash, chicken, stuffing, and sausage, and livers. We'll check that out later. But right now I'm going to try this squash. They get it locally at a nearby farm. Got a local yard bird. Give me the chicken. This is incredible. Johnny, the only bad news, they say no leftovers. Can't bring anything.
Come on, man. Oh, my gosh. And you always say you want to clean up your plate. You did.
Oh, I absolutely did. They should have taken a shot when it looked like it was done, but not one morsel. When you're one of 6 kids growing up.
Yeah, you get it when you can get it.
That's right.
Well, good for you. That was Zender's, huh?
Yeah,
I'd never been. I want to go.
And what a great place. You know, John, the vice president, he showed us around, and they just treated us like kings. And don't think that our producer, Craig Wilking, and also Faith, they both were getting their snoots in the trough as well. I wasn't the only one eating there.
They can't even defend themselves. They don't have a microphone.
No, that's all right.
There's snoots in the trough. Oh, mercy. Well, that's cool. I do want to check that place out. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about Frankenmuth so far. The hospitality they've shown here. And
not showing
these butterhorns,
yeah.
like I said, doggone dessert pastries they got up here in the booth.
And not showing a lot of hospitality to the Dukes right now.
Well, Dukes coming out, trying to get good starting field position in the kick return game. That was Logan Anthony again. Logan Anthony handles a lot of their kick returns and also is one of their talented players out of the slot. We've only really called his name, that being the second time tonight. They want to get him going, certainly, if they've got a real good shot at pulling themselves back into this football game.
Well, you know, Coach McQuiller alluded to also with this rain, they'd like to put the ball in the air more, but they're having a little bit of a difficult time right now with that wet football. I talked about, you said, is it going to be a problem? It's not the field, it's the rain and trying in high school level, trying to keep a dry football in play.
And they're going to air it out here on first down. Max Fellows going to the canvas to take that one. So nice ball from Cade Coquillard. And Max Fellows with his third nice grab of the football game. That's a first down.
And a nice ball by Cade this time. That's just an out. And Fellows does what I want to see every young receiver do. Make the catch. Every play is not a touchdown. Don't just try to bend over and catch that. That's a difficult catch. By going down and securing it, he makes a catch. They move the sticks.
Again, we talk about the quarterback, Cade Coquillard. Shows a lot of toughness, has good touch throwing the football. A lot of people don't realize how good a touch he does have in it. Relatively new to the position, also a student of the game. There's Coquillard, pitches it out to Caleb Christie. You got a lot of hard C's there. Cade Coquillard to Caleb Christie.
Well, one who didn't care was number 21, Dalton DeBow. 6 foot, 215-pound junior. Really did a good job of setting that edge. And that's what Frankenmuth really has done a good job the entire game. The Garber Dukes have tried to run the toss. They've run some jet. They're trying to get outside to stretch this defense, but too much defensive speed in the gray uniforms right now.
I know Garber wants to throw the football a little bit more. It does look like the rain has lightened up just a little bit here midway through the third quarter. And again, we'll see. You're going to need better pass protection to give Coquillard time. This time they give it to Caleb Christie. Christie dragging a would-be tackler down. Picks up 5 yards on the play.
That's a nice job on second down. It gives you a more manageable 3rd and 9. You know, if you don't pick any yards, you look at 3rd and 14 or 15, the defense can play a little bit soft, keep everything in front of them. Now you got an opportunity. They're going to have to play a little bit tighter. And Max Fellows has been the go-to guy, number 4. And one who's going to be trying to stop him is Floyd Atwood, 24. Has been in coverage most of the night on Fellows.
We also got number 1, Braden Tacey. We'll keep our eyes on him, the junior wide receiver. We'll see where they decide to line him up. It's going to be Fellows here on the near side. They'll put Tacey on the high end of your screen. And again, Coquillard just has to go down to cover up the football. Again, hit him in the hands, but perhaps the moisture on the football.
And it was at his ankles. I mean, in defense, this is a low and to the left. And, you know, if you're a quarterback, where are your eyes? They're usually, you know, you're throwing the ball. They're going to be down the field. You're trying to look down the field to get a read. And you just assume that you can just catch the ball by feel. But when it's low and outside like that one was, you better follow it. An inexperienced quarterback just couldn't get the catch. And then you get another negative play and another drive killer.
Yeah, brings up 4th and 15. There's Coquillard, and he'll punt it away. Gets a pretty nice boot off here. Frankenmuth sends nobody back deep, and that takes a favorable roll for the Dukes. It's going to roll dead at the 23-yard line. So, again, we've seen that plenty of times here tonight for the Dukes. Just a little bit of an issue with snapping the football. A wet football, that it is. It's Frankenmuth with a 20-6 advantage here. 3:25 remaining here in the third quarter.
Welcome back. It's a wet one here tonight in Frankenmuth. But listen, the Eagles are just glad that they're playing on turf tonight, and the conditions are not as bad as it was last week against Elma, where it got so bad that they called it the Mud Bowl. Coach Martin said that they played, and get this, 4 inches of mud last week, which is insane. They were covered in mud, but pictures or it didn't happen, right? Well, Cole Jakowski posted these pictures on social media. They went viral. It was picked up by Max Preps. Now, listen, you're probably wondering why Cole has a white jersey compared to all the dirty ones. Well, he didn't play last week, so that's why. But, Rubes, did you play in conditions like this?
Absolutely. My freshman year at Grand Valley, went to Elon, North Carolina. And, Brooke, it was so bad, Johnny, that it rained so bad and was so muddy. When you came off, they had garden hoses. Officials made them squirt us down so they could see our numbers, who was eligible. It was so bad. You came out and you just got soaked between every series.
How about that? How about this? Frankenmuth looking to air it out. Jankowski looking down. Picked off by Max Fellows. Oh, my mercy. What a response. Max Fellows, you talk about high point in the football, went up with his right hand and brought it in for the Oski.
Tell you what, this is close to a highlight film one right here. He pulls it in with one hand, pulls it back to his body. And we talk about locating the football. Max Fellows did a great job of realizing the ball was in the air. He saw the receiver look back, and then he turned inside and put out his long arm there and made an unbelievable catch. What a play.
The long arm of the law. Look at this. Fellows. Fabulous effort. And again, what did they say? The best player on Garber as far as catching the fade route right there did a great job of playing receiver at the defensive back position. And now Garber in ideal field position. Football at the 46-yard line. Coquillett, he'll take a shot with time underneath, nearly picked off. Holy cow, nearly picked off by Dalton Dubois. Let me ask you this, Rubes. What did you think about Frankenmuth taking a shot there on first down? On the play before.
Well, I think
got picked.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. You're going to take a shot. You've thrown one time the entire game. You come out and you know that the last series you just went veer, all the way down the field. So if you're Garber Dukes, you're thinking, okay, here comes the veer, take a shot. You try to get him looking in the backfield. But Fellows played his technique the entire time. He didn't buy into the run game, and he was there to make a nice play. I just really think with the type of pressure they bring up front, that Coquillard, he's got to just throw the fade or the go route.
And that one, ball slipped out of his hands. They're going to rule it, incomplete. But there again, I think with the football, dropped back, and I think he just was squeezing it, came out loose, but he wasn't in throwing motion. We'll get another good look at it here. Otherwise, Frankenmuth thought they might have been going the other way.
He drops back.
Ooh, I don't know.
Well, in the NFL, there would be a red flag thrown that would probably be reversed, but the officials, they're not privy to having all the different cameras and replays. But that ball slips out when he's bringing it in the backstroke, I think. But nonetheless,
as it were,
well, they get a break, and now let's see if they take advantage of it. And obviously, the Frankenmuth coaches saw something different than the official. They wanted to see the fumble.
3rd and 10 now. Ball at the 46. Coquillard. This time fires it. 2 receivers in the general area and unable to complete it.
And we talk about spacing in a passing game. You have to have spacing. And that time, not a very good job in spacing because you had Brandon Tracy and Logan Anthony within 4 or 5 yards of each other. The reason you can't do that, Johnny, is it brings defenders. So now you have defenders closer, and you're just bringing people to the party. And that time the party was
crashed.
Crashed by the gray shirts.
No, good call there. You're right. The spacing wasn't right there. I think one of the receivers might have run the wrong route, or maybe cut the route off a little too shallow. So as it were, it's going to be 4th and 10 at the 46. This does not look like a punting formation. No, and they're going to blow it dead. I believe Garber's going to take a timeout, talk it over.
No, Garber. They're 2nd and a half.
What a game. Hey, high school football fans, you're going to want to join us again next week. Football Fridays continue here on Bally Sports. Heading back to the Metro Detroit area. The River Rouge Panthers hosting Southfield A&T.
That's Garber's first time out of the half.
Thank you. Kickoff at 7 o'clock. That's on your home for high school football, Bally Sports.
A shout out to my Eastern Michigan Eagles because the head coach of Rouge, Corey Parker.
Yeah.
And he's done a wonderful job.
For sure. Been fortunate to call a couple of their games over the last couple of seasons.
If you ever want to coach, you have to go interview and talk to. Corey is as charismatic as anyone you ever talk to. And you talk about being a proponent of his players, and not just as football players, but as young men growing up and getting into high school and helping them start their future. Corey Parker does it right.
Yeah, it's going to be a good football game next week. River Rouge, they always seem to find themselves at Ford Field more often than not. So I heard the official come on say that was Garber's first timeout of the second half. So it's a 4th and 10. Ball's at the 46-yard line. And Cade Coquillard comes out here. And I think the Dukes realize they got to go for it. They need something to happen. They're going to a 3-receiver set. Caleb Christie in the backfield with him.
I think you got to go to Tracy there.
They come underneath to Anthony. Shakes one tackle up to the 40. Got to lean forward. He does so. Logan Anthony. We've been talking about him. They want to get him going.
When you're in a game and you're playing up and you're playing against a team that probably outmans you, I talked earlier about making plays somewhere in the course of the game, and Anthony does just that. He makes the first defender come up and miss. That's a good job. But then he was able to break another tackle, and he turns in, gets the first down, and then he almost breaks it for a touchdown. Nice job in the open field with the tackle that time coming up by Travis Brenner. But what a great individual effort. We saw the play on the interception, right, by Fellows, and that time by Anthony making plays.
Yeah, on 4th and 10, biggest play of the game. Now they're going to air it out. Looking for the end zone, looking for Fellows. Here comes the flag. That's going to be pass interference.
Now, there is no face guarding any longer, but you can't face guard and run into the receiver, and that's what happens this time. As you're going to see here as the ball comes, that's a tough one, but Floyd Atwood he's had a tough night trying to match up with Fellows.
That was a pretty good thrown ball from Cade Coquillard.
But if he doesn't do that, you can live with some penalties as a coach. If he doesn't do that, that's a touchdown. Fellows are going to catch that. It's a touchdown by...
Defense. Have to off the goal line as we go through yardage. This is the first down.
Now, it's easy for us to second-guess calls up here because we have replay. We get to see it over again and say, that wasn't. But in the heat of the moment, when the game's going fast, to me, it looked like it was a no-brainer interference. On replay, it was a decent play by Atwood.
Ball at the 11-yard line. Coquillard trying to pay off this drive. Pitches it. Caleb Christie. Christie trying to get to the edge. He's going to be ridden out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Brought down by number 21, Dalton DuBois.
Boy, I thought Christie with his speed was going to get there, but Dalton DuBois did a great job of flattening out. He read it. That pitch was close to being picked off, too. If you saw that, Frankenmuth had someone right in the vicinity on the pitch from Coquillard, and Christie took it, and he thought he could probably get to the corner with his speed, but DuBois had nothing of it.
2nd and 9, they're going to give him 1 yard on the toss.
All right, this is 4-down territory. There's no field goal attempt in this situation. With an offense that's been moving the ball on you, you have to get at least 6, hopefully 7 if you're the Dukes.
Coquillard. Ball's loose again. Coquillard able to fall on top of it, but all the way back to the 29-yard line. They're going to lose about 20 yards on the play.
I'm going to take a look at this now. Anthony, number 22, is going to be on the slot to the left. He wants him to go in motion. Coquillard, he doesn't go. The center snaps the ball in the interim. And then Coquillard, once again, this is the 4th or 5th snap problem they've had here. And that's tough.
Communication for sure. Again, the center, Kyle Jenke, just snapped it. Coquillard not quite ready to handle it at that point. It's going to bring up 3rd and 26. So they're going to mark the football at the 27-yard line. 3rd and 26, and now you better believe Garber's going to take another timeout.
Garber, that's their second of the half.
So you got everything going in your favor. Yeah. You got momentum going. Big play on 4th down to pick up the first. But then that, once again, it's been the story of the game. They've been shooting themselves in the foot.
But you look at the points that Frankenmuth has put up. Now, obviously, the Elmo one's a little bit of an outlier because of the Mud Bowl. It was much tougher to move the football. Goodrich, they beat the Martians 28-14, which is one of the great high school nicknames, by the way. Although they're not green, they're blue and gold, which I've never understood.
Right,
must be a different type of Martian.
Yeah, well, again, tonight they can wrap up the Tri-Valley Conference outright with a victory, and then here's what you got with Garber coming up. Croswell-Lexington being their final game of the regular season coming up on the 22nd of this month. But again, a good season. The Alma game, they were up 21-3 in that game. You see 2 weeks ago, they lost in overtime by a digit. That was the most disappointing loss of their season. The Freeland game you can live with.
But with that schedule, I have to believe that the Dukes will be playoff bound. Especially if they get the win next week.
I'm impressed with what we've seen here tonight. I mean, these aren't exactly ideal playing conditions for a team that likes to throw the football as much as they do. They've just been having all sorts of center to quarterback exchange practice.
Look at the tight split of Tracy to the top.
Coquillin again looked like early movement. They're going to blow it dead because it was. So yet again, coming out of a timeout, they're going to get a false start penalty, moving back to the 32-yard line.
And you see what they did is like
dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, third down.
As I told you, look at Tracy, the wide receiver. He was inside the hash, and he's the farthest guy out there. So that tells me he's working some type of out route. You want to leave as much space as you can, and he's running like a 10-yard out, and that's where they're going with the ball. But once again, just shooting yourself in the foot too many times. You get away with it against poor teams, but you play a team like Frankenmuth, they'll just bury you when you keep making errors on your own without even them forcing you.
3rd and 31. Got to reach deep in the playbook for this one. Another false start penalty against Garber.
Dead ball, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down.
Well, sometimes we talk about holding your water, and that time Jacob Carmona the right guard just can't do it. He raises up and frustration.
Yeah, definitely a frustrating night for Garber. They played too good of a football.
What am I doing?
Yeah.
What am I doing? I know the count.
That happens.
But when you're playing
the student section getting after it.
When you play a front that's as quick and athletic as Frankenmuth is up front, it puts a lot of pressure on your interior lineman to get off on the snap count.
Here we go. 3rd and 36. Coquillin taking a shot, looking for Fellows. Picked off at the 10-yard line. Here comes Frankenmuth. Up to the 29-yard line. Picked off by guess who? Cole Jankowski, the 1-2-way player the Eagles have. He plays quarterback. He plays strong safety, and that time he came up with a big stop for the INT.
And that's an easy play for Cole because the ball is caught, the ball is thrown, and he's at a safety position. You can see him coming over, and he's giving help over the top. Cole Jankowski, as you said, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. He's the only two-way player. Now, they will sub some, give some of the other starters two-way play, but you're talking about Division V school at 2 platoons. That is such an advantage because you can take your whole unit on the sidelines when they're not in the game and coach them up during the course of a game.
Pitch. Sam Barger. Up to the 36-yard line for the Eagles. And that should do it for the third quarter. That's a great point that you brought up.
Yeah.
Is how is it that a school of this size, what's that a credit to?
Your youth program, your community, your coaching staff, all the way through, you have created an atmosphere that kids want to be part of something. And today, in today's society, that can be difficult at times because there's so many things kids can do, so many distractions, not only in athletics because there's so many that are offered, but with technology and phones and so forth. So what they've created here in Frankenmuth seems to have staying power.
That they do. How about Sam Barger? How about Max Fellows? How about Cole Lindow? How about all the playmakers out here tonight on a Football Friday on Bally Sports? Time now for a Menard's big money moment, and it was this the last time Garber was on defense. Take a look at Max Fellows, number 4, with a high point, with the one arm, with the Oski. Also has 4 receptions for 72 yards from his wide receiver position here tonight.
I just hear you say Oski. Is that what you called him in high school when you got a pick?
Oski.
You know, that's what we did too, way back in. Way back. I'm not gonna give a date. I'm not gonna age
I'm pretty
myself,
sure we went in the same graduating class. We were close. Huh?
Okay. All right, Johnny.
I'm just playing. There's Jankowski, hands the football off. Cole Lindau looking for some separation. Got a burst. Past the 30, up the sideline. And finally brought down inside the 15-yard line. That's the fastest guy on the field here tonight.
He was like the little engine that could that time. I think I can. And he was getting faster and faster and faster. It was like Cole Lindau was running downhill and everyone else was running uphill. What speed, what burst. And this is what Coach Coquillard feared. In the open field, Lindau has such tremendous speed. If it wasn't for Fellows coming off his man-to-man coverage, that's going to be a touchdown.
First and 10, Frankenmuth on the Garber 14.
Once he gets into open space, already over 100 yards on the night. That might put him close to 150 yards. There's Lindau up the middle. Still fighting inside the 5-yard line. He's going to get down to the 3-yard line. That'll put him north of 150 yards rushing on the night.
Tackled by number 8, Cade Quiller.
First and goal from the 3. Might as well call it first and Cole. Pick your poison in this game. Yeah, fun to watch. I'll tell you what. Cole Lindau. And that type of burst of speed, we're in the 4th quarter, showing no signs of fatigue. Lindau. Straight up the middle. Touchdown, Eagles.
That's just... This defense has been on the field a lot here in the last couple quarters. The offense of Frankenmuth is really showing what they're made of. The timing, the speed, the execution, and the weapons they have, and the ability of, that's just midline, inside veer, right over the top, the center, that's just walking in. And how about that offensive line? And we've talked about everyone, but you got Hunter Schmitzer and Carter Weiss and Bryce Campbell, James Tack, Alex Martin. These guys have done it the entire night. We've been talking a lot about the guys carrying the ball, but the guys opening the holes have been very, very good as well.
What was one of the things Coach Coquillard talked about going into this game? He said with Cole Lindau, we know he's unbelievable. They saw what he did against Freeland a couple weeks back with the 300-yard game. They say we know what kind of speed he runs with. If he gets a crack or a crease, he's gone. We have got to keep Cole Lindau contained. Easier said than done against number 26.
You mean Coach?
Welcome back. One thing I have learned about Frankenmuth football this past week is that it's all about family. So much that all but 2 staff members on the football team graduated from Frankenmuth, and still some of those coaches currently hold records here at the school. Coach Campow currently holds the record with 15 sacks, or 16, excuse me, but you know who is inching closer to breaking that record? Ashton Brinkert. He is sitting at 15 sacks, so you know Coach Campbell's feeling that pressure. And earlier this week he joked around and he said, hey, I think I'm going to bench him just to make sure he's not going to break my record here. But guys, Ashton, he's been having a great game.
Yeah, good football player, no joke.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's gotten the sack.
I know Campbell was joking.
Because those bad snaps, when you come in the court, does that count as a snap?
Carry.
Oh, it's a carry in high school.
But Ashton Bank, there's Coach Campbell. Tell you what, when they used to wear those neck rolls and those wide pads, that was when you were playing.
Those shoulder pads?
Yeah. They don't do that anymore.
Well, no, it's easy now. They got small pads. They all wear the sticky gloves in the NFL. I think all the records are skewed. Sound like a bitter old man. I mean, come on, those
How
gloves.
How do you really feel? We can't tell. Yeah, I wish he'd open up a little bit more.
I was going to tell you that interception by Max Fellows, there was no glove on that now. That was barehanded, so that's
in the ring.
Makes it even tougher.
Back deep for Garber. Logan Anthony. He's a playmaker. Anthony looking for a little running room. Not going to find it on the return. But he's going to get up to the 24-yard line. They're going to try to get Logan Anthony going. He's that little utility knife that they run out of the slot position. But him in open space, he's fun to watch.
I
saw that run on the tackle for Frankenmuth was Nate Jackson. There's Coach Coquillard. All right. This is go time now.
Yeah, let's watch Frankenmuth. They put that really hard man. They're going to start putting people over the top. You're going to see some safeties helping out, getting wide, playing a little bit softer coverage, trying to keep stuff in front of them.
We're on 4 receivers set now. Coach Quillett pitches. Caleb Christie, ball's loose. And Christie somehow came away with it.
Well, I thought that was going to be a motion penalty because Frankenmuth, we're going to watch, they jump along the line of scrimmage, and that's a good pitch, and Christie just takes his eye off. But Frankenmuth jumped, and then the lineman for Garber, he stood up. And I thought it was a procedure penalty
so
because you can jump in high school, you just can't come into the neutral zone. It looked like the Frankenmuth defender kind of jumped down the line of scrimmage. I thought Cole's going to be blown dead, but it wasn't. I look for a shot here up top. We got Max Fellows one-on-one.
Lost the 5. Coach Quillett trying to come underneath. Looking for Logan Anthony. Throws it in the dirt. It's going to bring up 3rd down.
And you can see what the constant pressure can do to a quarterback, especially a young quarterback who hasn't played as much. They've been in his grill the entire day. Most passes, when we're looking down the field to see if it's caught, he's lying on his back. So tremendous pressure up front, and you just start rushing it. He catches the ball, and he just throws it too quickly, underthrows the receiver. And it's a tough task that coaches ask of Cade to come in here and fill the shoes of Shapansky, who, big-time baseball player, really good athlete. And he
Going
can't.
To Michigan to pitch,
yeah, and then he can't. You lose him, and then you lose your big guy as well. It could have been a different story. This team, Frankenmuth, is still very, very good, but I think it could have been a little bit different.
Coach Quillett looking for Fellows. Picked off a second time. Frankenmuth in business. Inside the 20. Taking it to the house. Touchdown, Eagles. Floyd Atwood with the INT. Returns it all the way for the score.
Well, Floyd's had a tough night against Fellows, so he's got to feel some redemption. They've kind of picked on him. They've thrown at him all night. Well, this time the ball is just thrown way too far inside. Fellows is much wider, and you got to throw more to the sidelines, give your receiver some help, especially when Atwood's playing a hard inside press corner. He's got the inside taken away, and it was just too easy for him to step underneath the route and make the catch. And he shows some good speed as well.
Floyd Atwood, the senior DB, with the big play for this defense. And as you and I were just talking, Rube, they have such great depth on this team where they don't have to, two platoon like a lot of the other schools in this conference.
In the whole state, not just this conference.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
dead ball, illegal substitution on the defense, 12 men on the field.
Well, and from last year's state runner-up team, they have 9 starters back on the defensive side. That was something Coach Martin said going into the year. We were going to hang our hat on our defense. We figured they were going to get us.
Because the offense, in the history of Frankenmuth, does its part. Because of design, the system, and their ability to execute it so well, they're going to get their points. What's going to be the difference for this team if they can make a deep run in the playoffs is how is that defense playing?
The illegal substitution penalty is going to be declined. Try for point.
The one area, and I think if you ask the Frankenmuth coaches where they felt like maybe there was a weakness, was in their secondary. Yet tonight you've seen them come up big.
They've held up well. They've been in position that the few long balls have been caught were not as much as they were in position, just really good plays by the receiver, Max Fellows.
Point after try. It's no good.
Eagles 33, Duke 6.
I do want to remind everybody, there's only 1 week left of the regular season before the high school football playoffs begin. Check and see which teams qualified. We're going to be announcing the first round playoff pairings on our Selection Sunday show. That's coming up Sunday, October the 24th, 5:30. We'll be right here on Bally Sports Detroit. So that's Selection Sunday show. It's going to be a lot of fun. You now have plans on October 24th. I'll be watching.
Not doing it this year. I've done it for a lot of years. I will not be part of the Selection Sunday show this year, but you need to stay tuned and find out who's playing who. Now, with some of the websites there are, they get pretty close nowadays.
Yeah.
But if you want the
Joe Lunardi's that are out there, for high school football.
But if you want the 4-1-1, you got to stay tuned to Bally Sports and watch it to really know who's playing whom this year. And it's going to be different. There's going to be a lot of teams that are 6-3 that may not get into playoffs because of the new format with the point system. There's going to be some, 4 and 5 teams, and even possibly some 3 and 6 teams who play a difficult schedule.
And the kick away, and that ball is going to go out of the back of the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out. I know we've talked a little bit about some of the great restaurants and some of the amenities around here in Frankenmuth. I want to give a shout out to Poblanos. There you go. Poblanos, who catered tonight's meal for our Bally Sports Detroit crew. And
was that on the second? Was that on the second level?
Second level, yeah. The tacos you were eating.
Oh, that's what. No. I won't eat till tomorrow. No, I had enough at Zender's. I couldn't. But I saw you down there.
Oh my gosh!
I thought you went.
I might have had.
I thought you were back at the truck. And
no,
you
it was
down
fabulous.
Tacos.
But we appreciate it. And I know the crew, everybody in the truck, we really appreciate that. And again,
what hospitality from this community.
Fabulous. Really appreciate it. So thank you to Poblanos. Garber backed up at the 20-yard line, not much room to move. You hit on it quickly there, Rubes. It was about this year's playoff format and how it changes. It used to be, 6 wins and you were in.
Yep.
No matter.
Automatic.
Now it's a point system.
And 5, if you played 8 games, 5 was automatic. Now it's different. I mean, the Saginaw Valley League, you look at Flint Powers. Flint Powers has sitting on 2 wins right now. And if it started today, they would be in. Now, they also, if they win one more, they definitely will make it in Division 5 because they play in a conference with 3 Division 1 schools. So all those 3 teams are having a lot of success. So you're getting a ton of points for playing a tougher schedule and getting rewarded.
Well, you look at this Garber team, and again, as I used to say, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas.
A better place to say that.
Exactly.
There you go. Hey, I saw 5 Santa Clauses at Bronner's. I almost went to the one and told him what I wanted, but he was too skinny. So I wasn't buying into it.
We got an injured player out there for Frankenmuth. That's looks like Dane Reif, number 34, the linebacker. We're going to take a short time out and make sure everything's okay with the player. Again, it is the home team Eagles leading 33-6 here in the 4th. All right, back here at Frankenmuth High School. And Rubes, you had an eventful day.
Well, this is why I didn't eat any. I didn't eat tacos like you did at halftime, Johnny. Actually, you had some before the game as well. But look at what I had.
Yeah,
look at this.
I mean, could they get any tighter on that fork?
I don't know, but I'm happy right there. I'm so happy. There's no acting. When you put food in front of me,
that was genuine.
I could win an Oscar or an Academy Award because I will look as natural as anyone. I get to fill my face. I'm a happy man.
That looked good. Yeah, we appreciate it.
So Johnny, you were saying you started your ifs and buts and candy and nuts. Where were you going with that? I'm just curious.
My point was, when you look at a team like Garber, and you would say if they didn't have the injury to the quarterback, Tommy Shapansky, lost for the season. And then in arguably their biggest game of the season here tonight, they lose Van Sumeren, in the first quarter. So you say, again, if, but you're sitting on 5 wins, you're going to drop this game. You got 1 week left. If you get to 6 wins, are you good enough to be a playoff team? It's going to come down to points. But this is a team that I think if they were healthy throughout the course of the season.
Well, I'm not sure what division Garber will fall into either. I don't know if they're going to be in 5 or they're going to be in 6. And that's key as well, because if they're in 5, they're going to get a ton of points. Even though they're going to lose here, they're going to get all the points from Frankenmuth because of the wins that they compiled during the course of the year.
They'll dump the pass off there to Caleb Christie. It's going to bring up 4th down. We're now inside 9 minutes to play here in the final frame. We're talking about Garber, our good friend John Morosi from MLB Network. He's a Duke. Offered a nice words of encouragement earlier today. If you follow his social media platforms on Twitter. Of course, he's covering the ALCS now from MLB Network, but he had a shout out to his alma mater, Essexville Garber. Here you go. 4th and 5, ball at the 25-yard line, and Quillard's going to punt the football away. And it takes a Garber bounce, and it's going to come to rest at the 44-yard line. That's where Frankenmuth can take over once again.
I think we may start seeing some new faces on offense. I saw Horde starting to run out, number 5.
32 yards.
And maybe he might replace starting quarterback Cole Jankowski, and number 5 is Cole's still out there too.
About that time in the football game. And again, they've got that 5th quarter program we've talked about. You bring your sophomores up and get some great varsity experience throughout the course of the season. Here on homecoming night, I think they'll give them maybe one more drive here. Some of their veteran leaders, and they pitch it out. Lindau breaks through. Lindau to the 30, cuts back down to the 20-yard line, still on his feet, brought down to the 19-yard line. And Cole Lindau, folks, is closing in on 200 yards rushing on the night.
Well, once again, they have the twins to the left, and then they're going to pull play side guard. So they just get a ton of people at the point of attack. They outnumber you. And this is a play that I had drawn up earlier when we were talking about doing this game. I thought I was going to see more of this because they really do a good job of isolating the formation of the defense and then getting numbers offensively with motion and shifts, and that time very successful doing so.
Jankowski keeps it himself. Jankowski into the end zone one more time. It's a hat trick for number 14, Cole Jankowski, the senior. Eagles all over the Dukes here in the 4th.
And that's just running the inside veer. Watch when he rides this. The tackle closes on the back, pull it. Get outside, picks up a couple nice blocks, and then it's just gravy from there on in, and Jankowski does a good job. But it all comes from reading it properly, which he did. He saw the tackle collapse. He pulls it. Nice lane. Touchdown, and rich get richer right now.
You know, Jankowski able to do it with his arms and his feet. Remember, he was a running back for him last year. You can see the way in which he runs with the football. Still has a lot of those same characteristics. Tough kid, good size. It's a fabulous night. Now 3 touchdowns on the evening for Cole Jankowski, and that'll likely be his last series as the starting quarterback.
Wait, you got to read. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You got to read. Get
okay. Rob, rev your engines. The Pistons are gearing up for their season opener on October 20th. That's coming up against the Chicago Bulls at Little Caesars Arena. Our coverage begins at 6 o'clock with a special hour-long pregame show. You can catch it all here on Bally Sports Detroit.
Are you going to get some play-by-play fill-ins this year, you feel?
Yes, sir.
You already have some scheduled?
I do.
Let me know, because my son Drew is a huge Johnny Kane slappy.
Is that right?
He loves you. He said he loves you because you work with Greg Kelser, correct?
Yes, sir.
And he says you get a lot out of Greg Kelser during those games. You pick his brain, you get him speaking, and he loves it. He thinks you're the future. Someday, you'll be the future of Pistons basketball, Johnny Kane.
That. Yeah, I love doing it, man. We love it, and calling NBA action is nothing quite like it. So we're looking forward to what I think is going to be, a really
could be like the Tiger
season.
I think you're going to see great improvement by the Pistons.
Yep.
They're doing it the right way through the draft, and trying to be more cap friendly, and cutting some of the fat and try to build with young players. And if you can do that in the NBA, and then you can spot fill with some top free agents possibly, and spend some of your money there, then all of a sudden you can make a great turnaround quickly.
Yeah, no question. You look at what they did last year, and of course with that pandemic shortened season, but they were in a ton of games last year, and I think this season, again, nationally, a lot of people don't figure they're going to, win too many games. The Eastern Conference is pretty tough, especially at the top-heavy portion of it. But they're very young. You bring in Cade Cunningham, who we still haven't had a chance to see because of not a serious injury, but they've been cautious with him through the preseason. And they feel like with, maybe another draft class after this one, and again, you add another marquee free agent, this is a team that can certainly contend near the top of the East in short order. I think this year it's realistic to think that they could contend for one of the playoffs.
And your Piston fans love it because you get to see the development. It's not always, we're going to win the NBA championship, we're going to make the playoffs, but you see a team getting better, and you're more than willing to stay with them and watch.
No question. A lot of good young players, especially Killian Hayes, Cade Cunningham, some of those guys, Isaiah Stewart, Sadiq Bey, good young nucleus.
Well, then you have Grant came in last year. Just, I mean, you got how about value they got for that? They got tremendous value out of him last year.
Yeah, Jeremy Grant, leading scorer. He's back for another campaign. Kelly Olynyk. I could talk all night.
I know you could. That's why I teed you up, Jonathan.
40-6 that day. Strong second half. This was a football game through the first 24 minutes, but as has been the case here in recent years, it's been the full 48 minutes where Frankenmuth has been able to extend their lead. And here, a nice burst of speed. Garber not going any place yet, so a lot of fight left in this young team.
Charbonneau with a nice run coming in. The backup tailback, Dominic Charbonneau.
Yeah.
He does a good job here. He gets through the whole, blocked well. Really nice job pulling and teeing up there. It was Kyle Jenke, and then Charbonneau, he does the rest on his own. You know, you see that Charbonneau doesn't have great speed, but he had nice vision, and he had good balance. He was able to get through the hole. And, you know, he's it's nice for him to get an opportunity to get in the game, get some reps.
Yeah, Caleb Christie fought valiantly, came into this game 800 yards rushing, but now it's Charbonneau's chance to take over. Coquillard slings it out to Logan Anthony. Again, Logan Anthony,
pass complete to
a big play earlier in this game. He's been a big part of their success all season long.
And I think Coach Coquillard's finding something here. And Anthony, if he didn't already know it, is if they get him the ball in space out there, that quick catch and pitch outside in the slot, he can make people miss. He's a tough out.
2nd and 7, ball right at midfield. Right on the Eagle helmet. Coquillard hands it off. Charbonneau picks up a couple of yards, going to bring up 3rd down.
You know, to tack on to your candy and nuts and ifs and buts, another if is the rain.
32,
Dominic
you come in
and you want to throw the ball
carrier.
It's tougher when it's raining hard because the ball stays
by number
slick.
42,
so
Drew Titsworth, number 75, Darren
could have been
Akins.
different. They weren't. So you have to play. You have to make do the best you can. And Garber fought hard.
3rd and 5.
For 3 quarters, they were still in this game. But
Ball to
you know, the cream
48-yard
rises,
line.
and this is the cream of the Tri-Valley is Frankenmuth.
Yeah, Swan Valley, Freeland, Garber, Frankenmuth, all good teams in the Tri-Valley. There's Logan Anthony, makes a man miss up to the 40-yard line, takes a shot, pops up, back to the huddle.
Love it. I love what he just did. He didn't get up, he didn't look at anyone. He didn't stare someone down. He makes an unbelievable play, just breaks ankles that time. Coming up trying to make the play was Carson Knoll, a backup defensive back. And Anthony shows, and that's what I just alluded to before that, Johnny, was the fact that they could get him the ball in space, which they wanted to do because of the weather. The snaps really took their toll, too. They're just drive kills. You get a 5-yard penalty is one thing. You still get the down over. You get a 7-yard fumble on a snap that goes by the quarterback, you don't get that down over. Now you're 2nd and 17. We saw that way too many times for the Dukes.
Credit to Travis Brenner, number 4 for the Eagles, came up and made the pop. Handoff, Charbonneau, a couple of yards on 1st down.
Dominic Charbonneau, the ball carrier.
And that Frankenmuth defense has been stout. You saw the offensive numbers they put up all
Colin
season.
Main, number 60.
Has been equally as impressive, though. That is about 300 yards rushing each game, 45 points per game. They're right at those marks here tonight.
Yeah, we talked earlier about Frankenmuth's offensive lineup, but this offensive line Garber has also battled with Austin Bokart, Jacob Carmona, Kyle Jenke, we've mentioned his name a few times, Lazarovich, and Westfall. Aiden Westfall, the left tackle, number 50. So they've done a good job. They've battled. And I think, when you have the splits like this, it puts a lot of pressure on your offensive line. And Coach Coquillard has confidence that they can do it. But that's a tough thing when you have that many splits. That wide right.
Yeah. Shuts it down.
Kate Coquillard's
Landon Sella, his first reception of the night.
Landon Sella.
That's going to bring up 3rd
number
down.
3, Jake Andrews, and number 10, Carson Knoll. Third and 5.
What do you do when you're a high school football player and you play for your dad and you've talked to him the entire game? Because a lot of kids, my kids, when they come home after a game, we would talk about the game, what went right, what went wrong. I wonder how they do, because when I coached, I didn't want to talk to anyone after a loss. Well, this is your son. He's your quarterback. I'm just interested in the dynamics.
Yeah, that's a great question. Garber continuing to fight. Good group tackling. Short gain. Elijah Tyson in on the reception. That's going to bring up 4th down.
Elijah Tyson.
Maybe when those opportunities for your son, that's why they're glad they have a cell phone. Kate might get
Tackles on the play by number 10, Carson Knoll.
Yeah, again, it is an interesting dynamic. Going into the season, he wasn't expected necessarily to be a backup quarterback, but in the offseason, talk about Max Fellows, they figured he was going to be the backup this year behind Shapansky.
But they thought they would end a weapon, limit themselves with weapons if they put Fellows at quarterback. They needed him outside.
Correct. Yeah, so Quillard kind of stepped up, pretty soft-spoken kid. But went to his dad and said, hey, I'd like to be the backup should anything happen to town.
Time out. Garber.
Which did. And the other thing, I'll say this about high school coaches, and I used to work in local sports coverage for a lot of years, and a lot of times you had coaches that were coaching programs that
kickoff is 7 o'clock.
I'm not saying that they were doing, but what I'm saying is sometimes you might have a coach that might have more of a short-term mindset of, hey, well, this is a kid that's going to help us win right now, as opposed to here you would say, we think Max Fellows is going to be not necessarily a college quarterback, but he could play collegiately at the next level at wideout. Right. And then if the kid also says, hey, I would like to play wideout, right? Then it's a discussion, and you say, hey, if you want to continue playing this game that you love, we think this is the best position for you. Well, it's also going to help our football team.
That's definitely how you spin it and sell.
Yeah. But as we saw tonight, I think Fellows is fabulous there on the outside. So, again, one of those decisions that works out for everybody involved. And here we go on 4th down. And it looks like they are going to try a long field goal. So maybe an opportunity for Elijah Tyson.
Could this be a fake possible?
Well, Tyson, typically their punter. We saw Blaze Miller was in a little bit earlier. Number 3, lining up for a long field goal. Ball's at the 26. Oh, blocked! So they tried for a long field goal. Just to try to put some points on the board, but credit the special teams unit of the Eagles coming in, blocking the long field goal tries. Number 3 came in there, Jake Andrews for the move.
1st and 10 Eagles on their
way to lay out
31-yard line.
Yeah, and that's hard. One of those things that's hard to practice too, because you don't want your kids laying out like that because you can get hurt. So you don't really do it. But that time, that was picture perfect by Jake Andrews.
Yeah, he was there right now, wasn't he?
Jake, you're in some FaceTime.
Put some more tape on that hand. I could feel that one up here in the booth.
I just saw that Lindau tried getting in the game. The coach grabbed him and threw him. You're not going.
He knows he could have a 200-yard night. They do have a new quarterback into the football game, that being number 5, Aiden Horde, we talked about. He's played split end most of the night, also the backup quarterback. They had some packages where they could get him involved a little bit more. But tonight they didn't need to.
Number 6, Hunter Bernthal, the ball carrier.
Chuck Martin, former Grand Valley coach, 2 national championship coach at Notre Dame under Brian Kelly, was in the national championship game at Notre Dame. And I'm going to get back to this in a second after this play, but I want to tell you he talked about playing 2s versus playing 1s when he got his subs in.
Aiden Horde hands the football off. That's Hunter Bernthal. Bernthal picks up a couple of yards.
Number 6, Hunter
Bernthal, 2 carries on the night.
carrier.
Before we finish your story, I want to highlight.
Let's see what Cole Square did here.
Yeah.
Look at some stats.
I
think Brooke kind of forced that nickname on him. I'm not going to lie. Brooke can do that. She can with her beguiling wiles.
I'm going to say a fumble on the. Take a look at it. I didn't see it. I thought we heard the whistle. Yeah, for
definitely.
Sure. Ball came loose.
Dan Lazarovich got in there.
Lazarovich,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right.
To help keep our facility clean, we ask that you please be courteous and pick up any trash or empty pop bottles in and around your area and place them in the receptacles located at the east and west and north ends of the bleachers.
Didn't see that from where we were first time around. So
Garber's
going to get another opportunity here. Ball at the 40-yard line. Handoff. Nothing doing for Dominic Charbonneau. Let's take a look at the numbers here. We had, as you call it, squared the night that they had. That was a 1-2 punch all night for the Frankenmuth Eagles with Jankowski and Lindau.
On the tackle.
You know what?
Yeah, let me get to my Chuck Martin story since we don't have that.
I said
we don't have
the
that graphic up right
ready.
now. But I asked Chuck Martin. I remember he was at Grand Valley. He would sub so quick. He'd be up 28-7 in the late in the third quarter. Sometimes he would start subbing twos. I said, Coach, you do that because you want to give experience when you play? He goes, no, I don't want to get him hurt. My ones are better than my twos. He said, I want to stay with my ones because he didn't want to get him injured. And you know, in today's game with so many injuries, that's not a bad philosophy. Get your twos. I also think it gives your twos experience, so you can build depth as well. But if you were Chuck Martin, you'd understand that answer better than Chuck. And I had to edit it for television.
Complete to number 1, Braden Tacey.
Braden Tacey on the reception for Garber. Approaching 1 minute to play here on Bally Sports.
3rd and 7. Ball at the Frankenmuth 37-yard line.
Now 3rd and 7. Got to finish this game the right way. Coach Quillard still in the football game for Garber. Play action. Looking on the outside. Picked off one more time. Nick Reagan. 3 INTs for the Frankenmuth defense here tonight, and that is going to do it.
Nick Reagan.
Well, the homecoming that Frankenmuth wanted to have, big win over rival, and that time, that's just a good job. We talk about playing the football, and that's because Nick Reagan had soft cushion. He could just kind of backpedal into that throw. He was intended trying to get to Sella, but they were buying, they weren't selling. Frankenmuth took that. That's the 3rd one, and then I think it's probably taken the time.
That's a good football team out there, wearing the gray and red.
Yeah, keep your eye on them.
Eagles, yeah, no question.
Playoff start. This team's going to make some noise.
They moved to 8-0, 7-0 in conference play. With this victory here tonight, they win the outright Tri-Valley Conference Championship. They've won a total now of 26 conference championships in school history. They've won a district championship 4 of the past 5 seasons. They're coming in 16, 17, 18, and 20. They're in position to do so again today. As far as regional titles go, again, 3 out of the last 5 in 16, 17, and 20. This is a well-oiled machine in all 3 elements of this football game.
Well, you know, Johnny, all that's left now in this game is see Brooke is left at the altar for the 3rd time this year by 2 men.
You think it'll happen?
Yeah, well, it's happened twice to her where she's grabbed the 2 players of the game, was talking to them, and all of a sudden they go running back to their team, get to the huddle to celebrate.
It's true. Yeah, if this is your first Football Fridays broadcast, you may have missed that, but it's worth sticking around to watch. But again, a fabulous night here, and a credit certainly to Coach Phil Martin. And just the job that he's done. He was 87-15 in his illustrious career.
Yeah, let's hope that Van Summerlin that he's good, that he's healthy, Van Summerlin, that he can come back and that he's okay, because he has a big future ahead of him. His football playing days are really just kind of starting now.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're offered by Alabama and about 3 other SEC schools and most of the Big Ten schools within reach, you obviously have something. His inability to be able to line up and play healthy here tonight definitely impacted this game. How much did it impact the game? 34 points? I don't think so. But as you said, Johnny, in one of your takes, it definitely makes a difference.
Well, the other thing about Van Sumeren is, you know, for both of these schools, we know that Frankenmuth will be in the postseason, and Garber is certainly hoping they still have a deep postseason run in front of them as well, and they would like to have Van Sumeren for that stretch run. Again, his knees had kind of taken a toll here in recent games, and you know, tonight it was a shoulder injury that sidelined him for the bulk of this football game. So we'll see. There's a good look at Coach Martin coming off the field. He's feeling good about things. Never even put a hat on in the rain. I can't say the same for my partner over here.
Well, I've got to make sure I get my umbrella back from Brooke because I got to walk to my car yet. Although the rain has lightened up pretty much now.
How many steps do you think you got in today with all your walking from downtown?
Not as much as the calories I took in.
you got to make sure you're counting calories.
Well, I was okay till I got up these things up in the booth that you were eating, Johnny. Those sweet roll things.
That's Butterhorns.
Butterhorns.
So Frankenmuth now. Here it comes. Guess who? Brooke Fletcher. You saw the two boys head out of the group celebration, that being Cole Squared, as you like to call him, Jankowski and Lindau. They had a visit with Brooke a little bit earlier in the week to talk about their friendship, and now again here tonight celebrating after a dominant 40-7 victory over the Dukes. Let's go downstairs. Brooke, what do you have?
All right, I am joined by Cole Squared now. Guys, great game, but it was a competitive first half, but you guys just really came out in the second half, kicked it into high gear. What adjustments did you guys make?
I guess we just needed to focus, stop the mental errors. Just know that we can dominate anytime, anywhere, and we just came out in the second half and did that.
Well, this offense really dominated. Cole, you knew that you were, 40 yards shy of reaching 1,000 career rushing yards. You had around 200 rushing yards. What sparked that energy tonight?
Just all my boys back here. All the linemen up front. I owe it all to them for this season, everything that's going on. I'll name all the linemen off real quick. We got Alec Martin, James Tack, Bryce Campbell, Carter Weiss, Hunter Schmitzer's not here. He's our usual right tackle. Nate Bauer stepped in. He did great. And then all the other guys who step in. Matt Kelly tore his ACL early on. But, yeah, all those boys, they're the ones that do it.
I love that you named all of them. You got to give them credit, right? Give them credit. Show them some love. But, hey, let's talk about your game, man. Couple of rushing touchdowns. You had a pick. I mean, what was working for you?
Just trusting my brothers. Coach had a great game plan for us, and we just had to execute that.
All right, well, you guys are, undefeated? You're rolling right now. You guys obviously want to get back to Ford Field for that championship game. How do we keep this going?
Keep building off this stuff. That's what we got to, just get better every single week, knowing that we got bigger goals down the road is what I think we got to do.
Yeah, we just got to keep trusting each other, knowing that everyone has their back, next man up when someone's down. So that's been the mentality of this team so far. We've had a lot of injuries, and we've overcame them, and we just keep going and pushing each game.
All right, Cole Squared, always a pleasure. Great to see you. Congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Johnny, I'll send it back to you.
All right, good stuff. A couple of good young kids there, no question. Lindau, again, 209 yards rushing tonight. Also had a game earlier this year where he had 318 yards rushing. Twice now in his career eclipses 1,000 for the season. Fabulous. 5 combined touchdowns for the Coles here tonight.
I think the most impressive thing is how much TV these young men watch now, because I think it was Coach Jankowski worked about 7 cliches in his final statement, but it just shows you that they're aware. I mean, I'm not sure what I would have said in high school, but someone put a microphone in front of my face, but I really liked what Lindau did. Naming off your offensive linemen. That's money. I mean, that goes such a long ways with your teammates.
Yeah, well, impressive performance all the way around. We appreciate it, Rubes. That's going to do it for our coverage from Frankenmuth. Final score, Eagles over the Dukes, 40-6. You're going to want to join us again next week with Football Fridays. Take us to River Rouge as they host Southfield A&T. Kickoff at 7 o'clock next Friday night. For Brooke Fletcher and Rob Rubick and our entire crew, I'm Johnny Kane saying so long from Frankenmuth High School. Have a great weekend, everybody.